Sweet. Okay. Also,
right.
don't cringe at the intro because, we all have our...
Oh, listen. I can't judge.
Yo guys, what's up? And welcome back to another episode of the RedHeadRambles podcast. I am joined by your one and only PixlCait. How are you doing, Kate?
I am doing good, I'm excited to be here.
Thanks.
Excited to be on the podcast.
It wasn't a long queue, honestly. It was,
Listen, you know all the people I had to, push out of the way to get here? Jeez.
Damn, you got a Squid Game
A
that?
tough line. Yeah. I mean, you made us do the glass walk thing up in the sky. I don't know what that was about.
Spoilers, come on.
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't say who won. Obviously, it was me, but,
True. Yeah, I heard your
obviously
cameo
it was me if I'm here.
Pretty sick, honestly.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I got a lot of squids for that.
Yeah, how long did you spend learning Korean?
Honestly, maybe a couple days, I think.
Damn, that's kind of sad.
Took some time to invest in there.
If you're, really trying, but,
Listen, Shane, not everyone can be a pro like you, okay?
Fair. I do
Sorry that you know
speak
4 different languages.
Yeah, I do speak 2
Oh,
languages.
do you actually?
Well, we're supposed to. We learn English and Irish, but at a certain point, they just kind of give up on the Irish, and it just starts to kind of fade away, so it's mostly the English. But
the accent stuck, so that's all that really matters, right?
It did, kind of. Usually when I'm more angry, the Irish accent comes through, apart from that. Because I get a lot of, are you American or are you Australian? And some people say British.
Really?
Yeah, it's weird.
What?
I don't know.
What the heck?
Some people's
interesting.
tuning is a bit off, I suppose. But yeah, no, I am Irish.
Yeah, no kidding.
All right.
I am Irish. This is you finally telling the world.
I know, right? Mythbusters, let's go. Sorry, guys, hate to break it to you, but I am, in fact, Gaelic. All right.
And that's a theory. A Shane theory.
Hell yes. Speaking of game theory, actually, have you watched the Doki Doki videos, the game theory?
I did. I think it was actually you that suggested that I check it out after I finished playing, and I did.
Hell yes.
And I binged all of it.
And holy shit.
I have a lot to say.
There is a lot that went into that game, right? Holy shit.
Right?
It's insane.
Well, it's not even just that game, apparently.
No.
That's just the build-up.
Yeah. The amount of, work that, the Redditors and whatnot, went into, to find,
I know. I literally was thinking that when I was watching. I was like, dude, the amount of time to go in and decode all of this.
It's just insane.
It really is.
What did you think of, what were your opinions on Doki Doki? Because I know, I don't know what your expectations were going into it.
My expectations were not what happened. I saw cutesy little waifu game. I was like, okay, this is going to be a visual novel, obviously. I probably won't have to make many choices. It'll probably just play out. It'll be a cute, fun little indie game, And, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't played Doki Doki, even though it's been years and years. Things aren't what they seem at all, and, some blood gets shed, and cupcakes get made, some different things happen.
Yeah.
But overall, I loved it. I love how much depth there was to the game.
I just like to imagine the first person who played it, and just expecting
a normal game.
Then all of a sudden Sayori just pops out of nowhere hanging around.
Oh, no, not hanging around, no.
I love that little, foreshadowing from Monica is, insane on that one. Just I can't believe you left her hanging.
That's when I instantly knew not to trust her. I was like, I don't like you anymore.
You went back and forth on Sayori a lot, though. You started out, hating her.
Well, because, okay, here's the thing. Whenever I play a game, I try to get myself into character of the mindset of, whenever it's a game that's story-based anyway, because, you're playing as this person in their shoes.
Right.
So it starts off being this annoying girl comes towards me, and I'm like, oh, great, here she comes. The annoying girl. We don't like her for some reason. So it really painted the picture of, I don't like you, but because we're around each other a lot, I will be friends with you.
I think that's
then
kind
it
of where the
slowly
character
unravels
was
a
coming
little,
from. I think that's where the character was coming from. Even in the opening dialogue, it's it's the kind of friend that you can't see yourself making nowadays, but it just kind of works because you've been friends for so long.
It just kind of works, yeah. Exactly, and then over time it slowly unravels a little bit. You can tell that he cares about her, and, there's things that I regret about it. There's things I don't regret. Either way, I guess it's inevitable, some of the things that ends up happening.
I don't know
I don't know.
if you found out any of this whilst you were doing your research, but remember how I said you kind of missed out on the last conversation?
Yeah, with Monica, right?
Yeah. Do you know some of the cool things that happened during that, or
I would say generally I know a few of the lines that might pop up, but I don't know any like different Easter eggs that I missed out on, I don't think.
so? When you're talking to Monica, it comes to a stage where uh, the fourth wall breaking really starts showing through because if I don't know how it operates or when it happens, I think it might be random, but if you're recording or if you're streaming, she'll comment on that. Uh,
Oh my god.
yeah, she'll.
I would literally just turn off the
I
stream.
was,
Okay, bye guys.
I was so anticipating it because I was like, oh, she's gonna like lose her shit when she starts saying,
I
I
would
see
have
you have a lot of people
absolutely.
watching us. Uh,
Oh my. Well, here's the thing is like I'm sure you noticed that I was like reading chat and everyone was like, "Oh yeah, delete her files." I was
yeah,
like, "Oh
I don't know
gosh,"
why everyone told you to rush through it. I was like, what are you doing?
Oh, sorry, my dogs are barking.
Oh, you're good.
But it really wasn't chat like trying to push me to rush through it. Sorry, there might be someone outside. Hold on. We will find out.
No problem.
But I don't think it was so much them trying to rush me through it. I think they were just like letting me know
Oh, what? Yeah, yeah. I get you.
like, "Hey, this is going to be a thing that happens."
I think you enjoyed the rest of the game
Also,
anyway.
oh, I loved it. There were some very, very sensitive topics,
Definitely.
obviously, but I think with the warnings that they put in, it kind of warrants it being in there. Like, it's kind of like, hey, there are some things in here. If you are a faint of heart, do not play this game.
I,
Do not proceed, do not pass go.
I feel like they definitely did give a solid warning. Like they even said, like if you suffer from anxiety or depression at the start.
Exactly. And it confused the heck out of me, though, because I was like, okay. Why? Because this is like a wholesome game, right?
She'll also refer to you as the name on your actual like desktop at a certain stage.
What?
Yeah, yeah. She'll like instead of like whatever you said Kate,
Yeah.
whatever like your name is when you like sign into like your computer or whatnot. She'll refer to you as that instead. She'll be like, or would you rather me call you, etc.
Oh my. I think it's literally just Caitlin's PC is what it's called. So she'd be like, or would you rather me call you Caitlin's PC? I'd be like, oh no.
Ah, yes, the mask is
Either that or
off.
I end up
Caitlin's
doxing
PC.
myself. Yeah, the truth is out. Who I really was all
Damn.
along.
Damn, guys. Well, if you ever wanted PixlCait's information, there you have it. Her surname and forename are out there.
I just doxed myself, but it's okay. You know, it was for the podcast.
It was worth it, to be fair.
Absolutely. You know what they say, do it for the podcast. No, is that not what the
Actually, no,
that not what
I
the meme
believe that is
was?
quite a popular saying. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, do it for the
yeah.
podcast.
No,
Yeah,
I've heard that.
that's
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah,
Cool. Sorry. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna just bring Parker in.
yeah. No, no, you're
Give me
chill.
just one moment.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry.
No, no, you're good.
Use some either waiting music or you can chat and
I can pull
be
up your
back.
I can pull up your streaming waiting thing.
Oh my gosh.
Back on Doki Doki, I think the the topics that it delves into, I felt like it would be a good game for you. That's why I suggested it. Not like with the topics, but just because like you have the mental health section in your server, and I felt like that was a really good addition. So when you had that, like you've always been like quite on the ball when it comes to replying to certain stuff in there, and I felt like when it comes
Yeah, of
to
course.
the chat in Doki Doki around those topics, that you could like flesh more onto it or address some of the stuff that came up in it.
Right, and boy did it not disappoint with the amount of topics that it brought up.
Definitely,
But
definitely.
no, absolutely. Mental health is like a very important thing to me, and I always want to like kind of offer a safe space for people in the community.
Hmm.
So yeah, it was definitely a good recommendation. So thank you for that.
No problem, no problem.
But I did not expect it. It really just like it came full force. I was like, some of the poems that you read, even I
It's
don't know if you like notice certain parts of it whenever like you can just see my expression change as I'm like, oh, this is not about what it says it's about
I'm actually
at
really
all.
happy that you read through the poems like properly because like some people I've seen play through them, they've kind of been like, yeah, 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 don't care, move on. Like
No, that's like one of the main themes of the game is the
exactly.
poetry.
It's like if you are going to play Doki Doki, you need to actually play it, not just try rush through it
Exactly.
because
The
there's
only
so
thing
many
I
funny
think I
details.
skimmed through was like, the repeat information that happened.
Yeah, I think their skip button needs a bit of adjusting because like every person I've seen use it like and presses it and then it goes like too far and you're like, oh no, stop, 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 stop.
Right, you're like, wait, when can I go back? Someone needs to contact Monica for that, let her get in the game files and adjust some stuff. I mean,
As a
she's
horror
kind of
nerd,
slacking.
myself, I really appreciate what they did with that game. I feel like the subtle horror and like the uncanniness of that game is just
Yes.
brilliant. Especially there's one part in particular I love, and it sounds weird to say, oh, I love this part, but
Oh
you
god,
know,
don't tell me.
you know the section where Yuri is dead.
Yeah, I know the section
Yeah.
where Yuri's dead. What do you mean? Oh, did that not scar you, by the
uh,
way?
it's so interesting the way they went with that because like they could have easily made that a lot shorter, like the amount of time you spend like flicking through like all like the random chat and whatnot, but like the
Right.
detail on her character that changes, like like her eyes like start to get wider and like her hands
Yes.
like wrinkle
Oh,
and
it's
shit.
so
It's so
creepy.
morbid. Yeah, it's really well done.
I hated it, but I'm glad it was included, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, it just adds to the build-up so much.
And then another horror game you played was Little Nightmares. You played through the both of them actually.
Yes, and I'm going to do the DLC for the first one, of course. So, no spoilers on that, because I have not
Yeah,
researched
I
it,
was
because I
gonna
was like, I'm
say
going to be streaming
actually,
it.
funnily enough, I have not played the DLCs. I'm meaning to get around to them.
Really?
Yeah, I have them, but I'm
I'm
just like,
shocked.
yeah, I was like, I really wanted to move on to the second game because I was recording it in October. I was like, oh,
Oh,
I'll get
okay,
back around
gotcha.
to the DLC soon. I just haven't gotten to it yet.
You and I live the same life, then. I was like, okay,
Yes.
well, I want to stream the second one, too, so skipped over the DLC for now, but
Some
hopefully soon I'll play it.
some of the people in your chat seem quite I don't know, disappointed, I suppose, with the ending of Little Nightmares. Uh,
Right, which I can understand, but at the same time, it was so well done, I thought.
Yeah, because I feel like, especially with games that like leave it open to interpretation, I don't feel like yeah, obviously you can be disappointed, but at the end of the day, you're the one who's kind of piecing together the information. So if you're disappointed, it's kind
Right.
of disappointed in the way you've articulated it in a sense.
True, like the way that you perceived the entire game
Yeah.
then gets debunked. It's like, oh, well, I went about this all wrong.
Well, like again, when people say debunking, like I mean, unless it's like very, very obvious, I don't think you really can say who's wrong or right when it comes to
True.
some of the stuff,
Very true.
especially with.
I, for one,
Oh,
like,
sorry.
loved it. Sorry.
No, 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 no.
I was
You're
just
good.
thinking back to that moment of like, oh god, at the end of the first game.
Oh yeah.
And the end of the second game, like, come on. How can you be mad at that? I mean, how can you be mad in a way of disappointed?
Yeah, because I feel
You can
like
be mad at the character.
when you have the context of the whole story, it I think that helps with the ending, especially with the ending of actually with the ending of both of them, to be honest, because when it comes to the end of Little Nightmares 2, I don't think you saw the clip. I think you only get it if you get like all the statues or something. It shows Six at the end, and her hunger starts. And a lot of people speculate that that's like because she left behind a part of her, she's missing something, and therefore she's hungry. She needs
Oh,
something to fill the
wow.
void, but there's nothing that can fill it because she left behind her friend. In that sense, so that
That is like a huge addition. I wish I would have been able to see that part now, but
yeah, because
now that I know that, it's crazy.
I was so frustrated reading like I can't even remember who it was, and I wouldn't say who it is anyway, but as someone in the comments who played or someone in the stream who played the game mentioned stuff about that, and they were like, oh, it's like so badly written. I was like, no, it's not. It's just you just need to look at
Right,
it.
you're like, no, you're just seeing it a different way.
Exactly, yeah.
It's brilliant.
Then again, I might be biased. I probably am, but But you know, I really love what they did, and I love the art style. It really reminds me of
Oh, yes.
it reminds me of like Tim Burton.
Yes! Oh my gosh, it's like if Tim Burton made a game, this would be
Exactly,
the game that it is.
exactly.
Like, the storytelling, everything was perfect, I thought.
I
And
thought
when I
so
say
too.
storytelling, I know that there wasn't, like, a lot of actual
Mm.
storytelling, quote unquote, but I just feel like the way that the game plays and the way that these, like, details slowly unravel and, like, trickle into the gameplay, it's just perfect.
It definitely opens you up to a whole new world, and I feel like before I go any further, I should mention to you did I ever send you the trailer for the second game? Because there's two trailers that came with it. There was the gameplay trailer, and then there was the Nightmares Explained trailer, which was really really cool.
Uh,
It was like a little.
I don't know.
It was like a little cinematic. I'll send it to you after the stream, but it's a really cool
Okay.
video. You should see. It's only like 2 minutes long, something like that.
Yeah, I'll definitely be down to watch it then. Because I already, like, you know, whenever you finish a game that you really enjoy, and then you almost are sad that you finished it, because you're like, dang,
Oh,
I know that I already lived through the experience, but I want to do that again. But now I've already done it, so it won't be the same.
oh my god, I absolutely relate to that. Especially with
Yes.
because I've played a lot of those. You know those games that you play, like there's some games you can replay, and then there's some games that like you can only play once. It's like you can't replicate
Right.
that feeling again.
Yes,
Yeah,
like once the story's told, it's already over.
exactly. I've had so many moments like that with in the past few months with quarantine with games like Days Gone and watching Sons of Anarchy for the first time. I
Oh,
love
nice.
both of those, and I can't get that feeling again. Like watching Sons of
Oh.
Anarchy changed me. Like I've actually like I'm not the same person.
See, I haven't watched it, but I know exactly what you mean by that
Yeah,
feeling. It's like you just want it to be back, but then like you can't rewatch it and feel the same way as the first experience.
definitely. And with that, I feel like Little Nightmares kind of did that for me. And not to pump it up, because like it is a good game. I wouldn't say it's groundbreaking or anything, but it definitely is like a staple in the genre. Uh,
Yeah.
but when it comes to Little Nightmares, it was my first experience really with a non first person type of horror game, because I was like, well, how can you really make it scary? Like if it's like, you know, if you're outside the view of like first person, it's not as like
Right. It's
scary.
not as like terrifying feeling, but at the same time it has that nice ominous feel throughout the entire time.
Exactly. Yeah, I never really. It made me like kind of refresh my perspective on it, because I was like, well, actually, this did a really good job at creeping me out.
Exactly, like the entire time. And there's like chasing scenes, like it's got everything. It packs a punch.
That mannequin piece is fucking terrifying.
Oh my god. That almost made me just stop. I was like, you know, guys, I think maybe, perhaps, I'm done here.
Especially the
But
torch
then,
controls being so bad.
yes, oh my gosh, and I finally listened because everyone was like, switch to a controller, I swear. And I was like, guys, it can't be that different. And then Toby came in and was like, Kate, switch to a controller. Because that's Toby's, like, all-time, like, one of his all-time favorite games ever.
I'm actually wearing my Little Nightmares hoodie at the moment.
Nice, it's so fitting then.
Hell yeah. But to be fair, like I can't imagine what the controls are like on PC. But even on the controller, they're still a bit wonky when it comes to the torch. It's still not perfect.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. It was just so, like, such a stark contrast from the PC controls that as soon as I got the controller, I think it took maybe once or twice of just flying right through. I was like, okay, after a solid, like, hour of trying, we got this.
And then when it comes to
Mission
horror,
accomplished.
is there any other titles that we can expect? Is there anything you've been like looking at? I know you completed Resident Evil 8.
I know this isn't necessarily, like, a big game, but a game that recently came out, Poppy's Playtime.
Oh yeah, yeah, I heard of that.
Yeah, I'll either be streaming it or recording it. I can't tell. A lot of people are saying it's actually, like, way scarier than you think it's gonna be.
Yeah, I
So I
was
might have to record that one, you know?
I was gonna say maybe look into it a little bit before you play it, because I have heard that that one is supposed to be quite scary.
Right.
Uh,
I definitely don't know what I'm getting myself into, but all I know is I've already bought it, I'm doing it,
oh, you've already
it's
bought it?
happening.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, which granted it's only, I think, like, 5 USD dollars, so it's like,
Damn,
it's not
I'm
crazy investment,
Kate.
but
I'm on a budget, man. Come on, like this, like.
I'm sorry. Listen,
You
what can
don't
I
need to. You
say?
don't need to poor shame me like that.
It's that Squid Game money.
True. Yeah. Have you watched all of Squid Game? I take it you have.
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
I have.
It was so funny to hear them like just casually being like, "Yo, I just need to borrow 30,000 won or like 300,000 won."
Right. And it's like, dude, how can you like I feel guilty if someone even owes me money, I feel guilty asking for money. Like I'm just like, it's fine. You could just don't even worry about it.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know how you can just casually be like, could I borrow like $30,000, please? That's it? Just a small little amount?
When it comes to horror in general, how have you has your perspective changed on it a little bit since you've started playing? Because I know you've
Oh gosh.
I know you were hesitant to do it due to like your health concerns. But have you gotten better with it, do you think?
Absolutely. Like, I would say I've gotten a good 60% better just by, like, forcing myself to play games.
Nice.
And granted, doing it live, like, it makes it so much easier because I know that, like, you know, chat's there. They got my back.
Yeah.
We're all here together. We're experiencing this together.
I get you.
So, is that me just, like, telling myself, hey, listen, no one's gonna kill you, and you'll not be dead because there's people here. It's fine. You've got witnesses. Maybe that is me saying that to myself. But at the same time, it has made me so, like, oddly proud of myself because I've accomplished games, like I say that, like it's
yes, I've made it.
A novel, like writing a novel. Yeah, like, achievement unlocked.
Achievement unlocked.
But I've gotten through games that I never, ever thought that I would get through. Like RE8 recently. Like, that is the first stream that I ever did on Twitch, and I got through 20 minutes of the story. 20 minutes. I just want that to sink in.
But you've come so far.
And then I finally played through the entire game.
Hell yeah.
Did I struggle? Yes. Did Shy play through one portion of it for me? Yes. But I got there.
To be fair, it's not an easy game.
No, it really... I mean, it is, but it isn't at the same time. Yeah. I don't know. It's not easy to get through, but the actual gameplay itself, I felt like was easier than I expected.
I feel like... Because I've watched a lot of gameplay of Resident Evil 8, but like I haven't played it myself, but I have like seen like 7 playthroughs, so I know it pretty much inside out.
7 playthroughs.
Yeah.
Right. Well, you need to watch one more, that way you have 8 RE8 playthroughs to watch.
Damn, you're right. You know, I gotta rewatch through your stream. That'll be 8.
You gotta get on that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Immediately. But, just like pause here and then go watch it and then come back.
Right. If you just give me like a few minutes, I'll be right back. I'll just
a few minutes. That. Sweet. You just like put it on like ×5 speed. Yeah. All right, here we go.
I'm gonna take all this in. Let's go. Speedrun.
Right.
I recently started playing Resident Evil 2. It's the first Resident Evil that I've actually played.
Oh dang.
And again, with the perspective change, like not being in first person, I was a little hesitant, but I've been really excited to play that. And I have to say, the remaster is fucking incredible. Like, it's actually really, really good.
Is it really?
Yeah, like You know the map, the RPD station. You've played.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You've probably played it in Dead by Daylight, but with that, Mr. X is constantly walking around, and you can hear his footsteps like all the time, and it's so terrifying.
Heck no! I hate not knowing where someone is, but being able to hear it, you can just hear those loud footsteps creeping around you. Nope.
And the fact
not doing it.
The fact you can't run either, you can only kind of like, you know, move
like halfway.
Yeah.
Walk fast. I don't know, like the kind of walking that you do in the parking lot after you go shopping.
Exactly.
You're like, all right, let me just get to my car.
It's like the cop.
You're like, dude, there's a murderer there.
It's like the cop is there, like near the start of the game, and he's like, "You have to run." I'm like, "Would a moderate jog suffice?"
Right. Would that be sufficient?
But yeah, no, that just makes it so much better when you're trying to get away from Mr. X and you're like, please.
Oh no, don't kill me. It's like in those scary movies where the girl just like walks and I'm like, there is literally a murderer right behind you, dude. Exactly. Like, if you don't do at least like a 2-step real quick,
Yeah.
pick it up a little.
You can't be a fan
But
of
no,
horror and not watch like all the original horrors just to say you've seen them at least.
true.
And I've watched
Right,
through
just to be like, yeah, I watched that. Yeah, don't mind me.
basically, yeah. I've watched through like all the original like Halloween movies, like all the original like Friday the 13th and all those like
Yeah, I was gonna say, have you watched the newest Halloween movie
I
yet?
have. I watched Halloween Kills. I thought it was pretty good, honestly. Like acting wise, again, it's a Halloween movie, so there's not much to expect
Right.
there. But I thought
Lower your expectations, people.
exactly. But I thought the brutality was probably one of the best that they've ever had in the Halloween series. I thought it
Nice.
was pretty
See,
good.
I asked this, not have watched it, not have watching it yet. But I just wanted to know what your thoughts were because your opinion's kind of like the end all be all for horror, at
Oh,
least to
thank
me.
you.
Like you've suggested enough, really amazing things for me to be like, you know what, you're the guy. You're
Thank
the
you.
guy to
Thank
go
you.
to.
You're not that
So
guy, pal. You're not that guy.
you're not that guy.
But no, thank you. I do appreciate that. Especially like I think I messaged you today about it. I just finished Alan Wake.
Yes.
Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily call it a horror. It has horror elements in it, but it's more like a psychological thriller.
See, that's my favorite.
Yeah.
That's my favorite kind, I would think.
I was about to say I love that kind of, especially like when it comes to story, just like even in media or like writing. That's definitely my favorite style of like horror-esque.
Yes,
And I
like a
think
psychological thriller type of thing.
yeah. And I think one of the best ones that I can advise to play, now that you've played through a good few horrors, and some of them like fairly scary ones to be fair, I think you should have a look at Layers of Fear.
Oh my gosh, yes. I don't know if it was you or just you, or if multiple people recommended that, but I think there's been at least a few people
I've
that
definitely
have said, Kate, you have to do this.
I've
And I'm like, at first I was like, heck no, no way. Now I'm like, I've kind of been tackling some spooky stuff. Maybe I could pull it off,
yeah,
you know?
because I think you could handle it honestly. Because I definitely was probably like 5 out of the 7 people that told you to do it. But,
Right? And you're like, hey, you should check this out the next day.
Let me
Hey, by the way, have you considered?
let me hop on
You're
my
like a
alts
door-to-door
real quick.
salesman. Yes.
But yeah, no, I think because one of my favorite horrors that ever came out was Outlast. It's very very
God.
well known game. It's a staple in the genre. But I don't think you should play it for
See,
a multitude of
listen,
reasons.
I have Outlast 2. It was gifted to me
Yeah,
by
but
a friend a long time ago, and I never opened it because I was like, listen, I hate that you did this because I cannot promise that I'm going to ever get this game to even go to the menu.
look, I mean, when it comes to Outlast, I wasn't a big fan of Outlast 2. And without giving any spoilers, I just feel like, okay, so when it comes to the setting, right? Outlast 1 was set in an abandoned asylum, right? An insane asylum. Whereas the second one is quite open fields, a town. It's very,
Oh
very
boy.
open. Except for some sections where it's kind of like a flashback dream section that you repeatedly go through where you're in a school. Um,
That can't be soothing to experience.
True. I won't say it's definitely it's an okay game, but it's nothing compared to the original Outlast. And the reason for that, in my
Really?
opinion, is that in the first Outlast, and I'd say the majority of people you talk to about this will agree. In the first Outlast, it's all tight corridors. You feel boxed in, you feel trapped. That's the whole idea of Outlast.
I was literally thinking that, like, as you were describing it, I was like, the way that would feel so restricting
Yeah.
in such a creepy way.
Yeah.
It kind of forces you into that mindset of, I am stuck here.
Exactly. Whereas in Resident Evil, or no, sorry, not Resident Evil, Outlast 2, it's open fields. You can just run laps around the enemies, which just
Looping the killer.
exactly, yeah. So
Oh,
it
loop my
just
killer,
doesn't add the
guys.
same element. And the story, I will say this: the story, coming from, I am quite traditional in my beliefs. I'm not religious, but I would be quite traditional. So coming from that background, the story in Outlast 2 is very, very Christian Catholic heavy, and it's very disturbing story. I'll say that much. But it's
Oh boy. Does it, like, hit home in a way of, like, well, this feels even worse to experience?
It kind of tackles rape and abortion.
Okay.
It's
Dang.
it's a very, very serious game and very fucked up. I have to give it that. But yeah, no, I think the first one is definitely better. But when I'm referring to Layers of Fear as a suggestion to you, I think it's because when you look at Outlast and Layers of Fear, they're both polar opposites. As in, Outlast, you're constantly running away from something, whereas Layers of Fear, you're kind of going towards it, because Layers of Fear is all about, again, psychological horror. It's nothing really chases you. Well, not in the first one. In the second one they do, but I don't think the second one's as good. In the first one, it's all just playing with your mind. You constantly feel on edge and, in a threat. It's just a cool game.
I just feel like that would be so... Like, I would be trying to stream that and just be going, oh, heck no. Oh, heck no.
That's the thing.
But I think that's the point, too. No, you're good. I was just going to say, I think that's kind of the point, though.
Yeah.
So it's all good.
Especially what you were saying earlier with feeling more safe by streaming it, like having that community around you.
Right.
Because that's how I started. Because what got me into horror, like, altogether, was watching PewDiePie playthroughs back in, like, 2014.
Amnesia?
Exactly, yep. Amnesia and Outlast. And a little-known game called Cry of Fear, which not a lot of people know about. It was an old
See,
one.
now that is the thing that I thought that you were suggesting I play at first. And I think that I have either seen someone play through a little bit of it, or I've just heard about it, but I heard that it's like one of the scariest games.
Cry of Fear?
Cry of Fear. I think that that's the one.
It's quite dated nowadays, but I think it still holds up as quite a good horror. I haven't played it myself personally, just because I'd have to port it to like a newer console or something. But yeah, no, that's supposed to be quite a good game. I enjoyed the playthrough of it. But yeah, no, that's what started me out. And PewDiePie himself says he started doing them because it's the only way he could play through the horror games, was like having that like kind of illusion that someone's there.
Kinda.
Yeah, exactly. So
which I think makes sense in a lot of ways, because it's like, even though these people are through a screen, I still know that they're there, and they get me through it.
Definitely.
Without that, there's no way. I would just not.
Hell yeah. So, with horror talked about for quite a bit. Sorry, I didn't mean to go on that long about it.
No, you're good. It's a passion, so...
Definitely.
Understandable.
How about YouTube in itself? So, according to my expert notes here, you joined YouTube in December of 2017.
That would be correct.
Did you actually start making content then, or was it just like kind of a profile for watching stuff?
Fun fact, made the channel because I was like, I don't want to lose that name,
Right,
because I was like, PixlCait, I like it.
Get the trademark.
I didn't want it to be taken. Yeah, trademark. Because I had a cat named Pixel, and shout out to my cat Pixel, and which I don't have anymore. Sad time.
Damn.
But I was literally I think 16, had a cat named Pixel, and then one of my friends was like, oh yeah, you're gonna make a new channel. I was like, yeah. I just want a fresh start, because I'll get into, in just a second, I actually had several channels before this one.
Damn, that's relatable.
Yeah, this was not the first. It is the one that I stuck to, though.
Right.
But I had that cat, and it was like, oh, PixlCait, because it's kind of sounds like cat, and then I took the E out of it, because, it's not E for everyone. It's gotta look cool. It's gotta be concise.
Right.
Because I like the simplicity of it, too. So I was like, I like it. This is what it's gonna be. So I went ahead and I made the name, and I'll actually pull up my channel real quick so I can
get
more in depth about
it. I always as I said, when I went to do one of my videos there, I don't know why, but I just from watching your content for so long, I was like, yo, welcome back, Pixel Pack. I was like, no, that's not, no, wrong.
Right, you're like, wait a minute, that isn't me. So hold on. No, I get it though. I mean, it's catchy and it rhymes, definitely. So it was nice.
It's cool that I can actually remember, it doesn't feel like I've been on your channel that long, but I must be, because like I was there when you like originally like set the poll or like asked chat. I was like, should I call it Pixel Pack, or like should there be a name for it?
Right. Like, you cast in the vote and you're like, dang,
Yeah.
I literally voted on that, and now looking back at it, it's like, now it's like so normal, like it
Yeah.
couldn't be anything else.
It's
I
so
would feel
weird.
so weird if it was something else,
Yeah, I know, right? It just doesn't feel right.
right? But no, looking back, it looks like my first actual upload was January 21st, 2018. So I guess December, I sat down, I made the channel, and then by the end of the next month, I was like, boom, okay, we're rolling.
Mm.
And the first video was actually, I don't know if you ever heard of the game, The Last Day of June.
I
It
have
was a
not, no.
sad little indie game. It looked like Play People, kind of,
Oh.
but I played through that one. And that was my first little series that I did.
So
Fun.
your idea when starting off the channel was, you know what? We'll get real popular. Let's depress the viewer
Depression.
before we get into any more.
Right? Like, I don't know why that inspired me. Like, you know what I'm gonna do? Because then, I don't know if you've heard of white noise,
I
speaking
have,
of
actually,
scary
yeah.
stuff. Yes, so the second one is actually called A Scary Boy, White Noise 2 Gameplay with Friends, and that is the second video, just 3 days after the depression game.
Damn.
So, I don't know what I was thinking. I was going for a theme of trying to make people sad and then scared, and just, what was I thinking?
The irony that your like bubblegummy type like positive channel started out with such like negative content. Like,
Right, like I was like, the first video is literally called So Sad, and then it talks about the game that I'm playing and stuff, but it's just all caps, so sad.
just
And I'm like, why is that what you uploaded as your first video?
just a flash to modern
which-
day. It's just fwog.
Fog, yes. Welcome to the Pixel Fogs.
Oh yeah.
But I have a lot of, not a lot of, but I have several privated videos back from 2018. Some from 2019 as well. Some from 2020 even. But, this was probably, I would say, my third channel I ever made. My first ever channel. I'm gonna say the name of it. I don't know if I've ever said the name of it
Okay.
or not. But it's not existing anymore.
Okay.
So, I don't think that you can even find anything on it if you look it up. But it was which, I don't know if you know what stands for, but it's so cringe because it literally stands for.
Really?
So I don't know. Yeah, I don't know why I was like,
Damn.
but
that's insane.
yeah. I don't know. That was an interesting time in my life, for sure.
Just try hop on the trend, catch a few stray viewers.
Right, like, well, I uploaded back then was just Call of Duty and Minecraft on the Xbox.
I haven't actually seen any gameplay, but you're actually supposed to be fairly decent at first-person shooters, right?
I mean, I don't like to brag. I'm just kidding. I mean, I'm pretty decent at COD, I would say. Like, I'm probably gonna get top of the leaderboard most of the time, maybe second.
Damn.
If someone else comes in and they've got the heat.
Damn, okay.
But
okay.
no, I really enjoy it. It's what got me into online gaming. Because before Call of Duty, I never knew that you could play online. Like, I was just like, wow, I'm gaming. I'm playing Sims 2 with my sister on our PlayStation. Wow. But then I played with my older cousin. I played Black Ops 1.
Oh.
And I was literally like 9 or 10, so I just was not good, obviously, because I was playing with people in their 20s and their 30s, and I was like,
Yo, get smashed,
I'm really
kid.
bad. Right, but I'm so thankful though, looking back, that they actually let me play the game. Like, they didn't give me a controller that was turned off. They let me actually get on there and play and be really bad. Probably got yelled at by, the teammates that we didn't know. They probably just didn't tell me. They were like, oh no, you're doing fine. Oh yeah, I was the one that was like, oh okay, I'm going this way, how do I look again? And I'd just be slowly moving around, but that's why now I'm like a firm believer that you should play games with people that are better than you if you want to improve, because it'll only make you better.
Damn,
If you're playing against better players, if you're playing with better teammates, you're only going to improve because you can learn from that.
So basically every lobby I join is good for me then?
Oh my god. No. Listen, if we're speaking, like, from experience, I can say, you're pretty nasty at DBD. Pretty
Honestly, I'm
nasty.
not.
I'm not gonna lie.
I've gotten my ass handed to me so much over the last month. But
Listen, there's always gonna be people that can do that, but every single time that you have joined and played, you have just been one of those people that I run away from. I'm like, let me not get near Shane at all because I'll die instantly.
I appreciate that. It's like what it sounds weird, but like being into horror, obviously, when I'm writing horror books, I want to like give that impression. I want to like scare people, I suppose, or I want to like, have that
Right,
effect.
like you really fit the character
Yeah.
like of Killer when you play.
So when I do play Killer in Dead by Daylight, I know it's not like a quote unquote scary game. Like it can be in certain instances, but
Right. It's got the spooky factor.
yeah. But like when I do it where I have everyone else muted and then I like unmute people or like watch it back and just hear like if I scared them
Oh,
or like if they
yeah.
comment like holy shit Shane's coming or something, like that just pumps me up so much. I just love that for some reason. I don't know.
It's probably half of it's me singing like, "Oh no, get away." No, but you're really like you're good at it in a way of like you said, it's almost like you intentionally fulfill the spookiness. Like you are intentionally out there trying to scare us, and I'm like, I love it, but I also am so scared of it.
I actually recorded an episode of Dead by Daylight for October. I never ended up uploading it. I ended up deleting it because I was in a
Oh
bad mood
no.
that day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I lost a game with my friends and I was like, because they were like, Kyle with the flashlight.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
so picture like four
Oh,
of
with that flashlight, they should get married.
There was like four people doing that, like in my friends group,
Oh
and
my
I was
god.
like so pissed because like I don't mind losing the game. Well, I do in a way, but like I don't mind that much. But when it comes to content, like having a white screen for like 20 minutes is not that good for a video.
Gotcha. Like you're like, guys, I kind of can't get any footage from
Exactly.
this,
Yeah.
so
So
yeah. Because if you were just losing by them, like outrunning you or something like that, then that's content still.
Yeah.
Is it rage-worthy content? Sure, but the flashlight thing, I can totally stand behind that. It's like not stand behind the flashlight. Sorry, I would never do that to you.
so rude.
I'm so sorry. Flashbacks to me doing that.
But not only that, it was like I also handicapped myself before that as well because I had a Michael Myers mask on.
Oh yeah, okay.
So I had
Dang.
Michael Myers mask on, headphones over. I could not see or hear anything.
So is that why Michael's always in a bad mood then?
He must
it's the
be.
mask?
I mean, it's like, come on, why you gotta make this harder on me? I'm already walking and I have a sight problem.
Right, like I already just have one knife and I have to walk everywhere. I don't have a car because I can't drive, so
honestly,
I don't know. I guess he did drive one time.
He did. I watched a reactor watching that. I watched some reactors who react to movies like seriously, and then I have this one dude called Mike Laws who watches content with his friend, and they just pull the piss out of shit, and it's just funny. And they were watching the first Halloween ever that I think it was like 1970s, something like that. But yeah, I think it was 1979, but it came out back then, and I never realized how much Michael drives in that movie because you constantly just see him in the background just joyriding.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, no,
I never noticed that either.
Yeah, it's actually insane how much time he's driving in that movie.
For a dude with no driver's license and wearing a mask, he's kind of good at driving, I guess.
Because he only starts killing at the end of the day, like at night. So like Mike was like, what the fuck is he doing? Just like driving around waiting for like 6 o'clock in the evening.
He's getting a mani-pedi.
Yeah.
He's gotta run some errands first.
Exactly.
Get his knife sharpened.
Hell yeah. Well, it is quite important.
No, but that is true. Like, I guess he has to wait for it to be, like, creepy, you know?
Yeah, but yeah, I can't even remember where I started off this point. I think it was... Oh, yeah, no, so your origins, yeah.
Yeah, how did we get back to horror? How did this happen? It's probably me, I don't know.
It just kind of happens around... Oh, yeah, no, because we were talking about Dead by Daylight.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I started up whenever I was 12 on YouTube, but I was not consistent. And when I say not consistent, I mean, the 7-month break that I've been on from YouTube?
Yeah.
It was worse than that. I uploaded, like, one video a month for like 2 or 3 months, and then I didn't upload again until like a year later, and then I was like, oh, here I am again. It's just like I have social anxiety too, which sometimes it's like I wonder if people can even tell because I do get rambly and I'm pretty outgoing
Right.
most of the time. But in my mind, it's a different story. Like in my mind, I'm constantly like, uh-oh, should I have said that? Should I not have said that?
I
Hopefully it's fine. I don't know.
I have a generalized anxiety disorder.
Oh, okay, so you can relate then to
Yeah,
that
yeah.
experience.
But I'm not so much like I don't really mind going to public spaces or anything like that, but I feel very, very paranoid
Yeah.
when I'm there. It's kind of like, oh, are they looking at me? Are they talking about me? Or, you know,
Right, like
um,
someone laughs and you're like, uh-oh, did I do something
yeah,
bad?
exactly. Yeah, it's like
You're
sensory
actually on
overload.
stage at a comedy show. Oh
Yeah.
no, someone's laughing. Are they laughing at me?
But yeah, no. What about you have a dog? You have a few dogs, or you have two dogs, is it? How many dogs?
Yeah, two
Two
dogs.
dogs.
I have my dog, which is Parker, Shy's dog, which is Dan. For those listening who don't know who Shy is, I talk about Shy often, and I should explain who she is.
Yeah, she's
Shy is
actually
my roommate,
she's Kate's
and
imaginary. But
yeah,
we'll just
we don't talk about
yeah,
it, but
no,
yeah, she's a figment of my
just
imagination.
go along with it, guys. Okay, she's gonna
I
get
just like
angry.
I use Shy as like a part of me that likes the girlier stuff, so I'm like, oh yeah, Shy, she's my friend and roommate. That's why I have so many plants at the house. I secretly just love buying plants. But no, we have Parker, which is my dog, and we have Dan, which is her dog. Dan is a mini Schnauzer mix,
Oh, okay.
and he is super cute. He's got really long legs, but he's still short. Don't ask me. It's awkward looking.
Fair
And then
enough.
we have Parker, which is an American Cocker Spaniel, and he is a derpy boy. That is the only way I could explain it.
Is he
Um,
you named him after like Peter Parker? Was that it?
yes,
Yeah. Hell yeah.
gotta be from Spider-Man. And it's kind of accurate because he's kind of just always bouncing off the walls, so
Yeah,
it worked
I
out.
think I remember Spider-Man doing that. Yeah, just pinballing off all
Yeah,
the
like
walls.
there weren't any webs or anything.
No,
He
no.
wasn't swinging. He was just kind of bouncing.
Yeah. And
He was like in a bowling alley, just no guardrails at all.
how old are they?
They are actually like a couple months apart, but they are going to be turning oh my gosh, they're old. They're going to be turning 3 this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh wait, no
That's
wait,
not too
Dan
bad then.
turned 3. October 6th is Dan's birthday, so Dan turned. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe they just turned 2. What is happening? Either they're 2 or 3. I'm gonna have to check.
That's not too old though.
Parker was born in. They were both born in 2018, so I'm just not thinking about math right
Oh,
now.
okay, right.
Either 2 or 3.
Yeah, no, that's not
But
bad.
Parker's birthday is actually the last day of the year.
Hey. Huh.
Yeah, so right before New Year's, it's a pupper birthday party.
That's pretty epic, to be fair. Oh my god,
Yes.
when you say birthday, by the way, that just reminded me of your cake for your birthday this
Oh
year.
my gosh.
How do you even slice that, bro? Like, the fuck?
With a lot of willpower and a lot of sugar going everywhere because it was a lot. For
Yeah.
context, every single year on my birthday, my mom always home makes cakes for my birthday and my sister's birthday.
Right.
My sister's the only sibling that I have, so like every single year, that's what I look forward to the most because she will put her own like creative spin on it. Like I remember one year, it was the year that the Xbox 360 came into my life.
Oh, damn.
Whenever I found out about online gaming, my mom made a cake for me that was actually an Xbox controller.
No way.
I thought that was like the coolest thing.
That
Yeah, like
that's
she
so
literally
cool.
did that. And that was actually how they were telling me that they had gotten me an Xbox.
That
Because that makes me sound very spoiled. That was
no,
like
that's
a
amazing.
crazy occurrence, but for my birthday that year, they managed to get me an Xbox 360, and she brought out this cake, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's an Xbox, like, I love that.
That
And they
is
were
so
like, yeah, do you
cool.
know why? And then they, like, handed me a box, and I opened it, and I was like, it's, it's here. It's an Xbox 360.
I mean,
I'm a gamer now.
that is a lot of dedication, but I feel like she could have done better. You know, she could have had like the Xbox inside the Xbox
Right,
cake.
like, honestly, she could have done a PlayStation. I just,
Yeah, it was like just
PlayStation controller, and then I get an Xbox. That would have been like the epic twist that we all needed.
Just a Google Stadia cake.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Don't you
Got
know
an
the real
NES and
console?
I'm like, here we are, with this little plug-in TV Pac-Man game.
Are we not going to talk about
That's what I should have
Atari?
gotten.
Come on.
Oh, sorry. Tetris 99, maybe?
What about, sorry, no. Sometimes my brain just goes blank
Oh,
on
you're
certain
good.
things, honestly.
Listen, I relate.
With gaming, did that start, like, with that, the cousin that you mentioned, like, playing with them? Or were you into gaming before that?
I was actually into it before that because of a different cousin. Actually started, super early on for me. I had an older cousin, which is a different cousin than the one I was just now talking about.
Okay.
And he was a gamer, like, gamer. And we were actually neighbors, too. So...
Oh, that works out pretty well.
Me? Yeah, and this is, like, first cousin, you know, like, super close family, but
Right.
my sister and I would go over there all the time, and we had a cousin that was closer to my sister's age, which was a girl, too, and they would always be like, oh my gosh, like, makeup, and, like, let's hang out, and then I'd be like, can I hang out? And they'd be like, no, you're too young, and I would be like, no, because they're, like, 2 and 3 years older than I am, so
Fair.
I was always, like, the young one that was uncool.
Sorry, can I just interject here for 1 second? That's
you're good.
actually, that just when you mentioned that age gap, I only realized when I started watching you, I think I was like 17, and you would have been like early 20s, right? I know you're still in your early 20s, but you would have been like what, maybe 20? 21?
Not when I started, but when you started watching me, maybe?
Yeah.
How old are you now again?
I'm 19.
19.
Yeah.
So, yeah, actually, I would have been either 19 or 20.
Because that age, like, I was like, oh, wow, like, I'm like so much younger, like it was like a bit weird, like talking to people like a bit outside my age range. But now, like, I'm 19 and you're 23, I believe, or 22. Okay.
Sorry, give me just another second. I just got home and now the dogs are like, oh wow, the door's opening.
You're good, no worries.
Okay, now that she's here, it won't be like that anymore for the rest of this, because now she can be like, oh, here you go, dogs. Here's some love and attention at every moment in the whole world. Because they are spoiled, and as you can probably tell in my streams, the same thing happens.
No, you're good.
Like, Parker will just cry randomly and bark and be like, I want love.
I got
Give
you.
me love.
My dog can be
But yeah, I just turned 22 in October.
Okay. So, yeah, no, like, I don't know, just that age range just kind of hit me there like a few weeks ago. I was like, damn, I'm actually like I'm a lot closer than I thought.
Right? You really are.
Anyway, yeah, so sorry to interject there.
Parker has to... Now he's excited. No, don't worry about it. Parker's been interjecting the whole time. I just hate that for your sake because, one, either you're going to have to take time to cut it out, or two, you're going to have to leave it in and then just have barking at random times. So I apologize.
No, you're fine.
And I apologize for anyone listening if there is barking in there. You know, that's Parker. He's just trying to say hi.
Hey,
he's a friendly pupper.
Look.
He's very vocal.
If people have a problem with doggos, then honestly, I don't want them here, okay? Like,
wow, you heard it here first, people. If you're a cat person, get out.
Yeah, like, literally.
But,
so you were
let's
saying
see,
about
what were you saying though?
You were saying
oh
about your cousin.
yeah, okay, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Sorry, we both get like rambly, and then Parker was in here trying to give me a toy, and I was like, listen, there's a lot going on. He really is. He's a baby. But anyway, I got into gaming because that other cousin, which was the brother of the girl cousin, which is, he's like a lot older than I am.
Okay.
So you would think that he would also be like, oh, you know, not the youngest cousin, like, get out of here, like, I don't want to hang out with you. He was always the one that was like, hey, you can come hang out in my room, I'm playing World of Warcraft. And I was always like, what is that? You know, like, I was just a small little tater tot. I was like, what is that? You know, that's cool.
Right.
So I would go in his room and just kind of sit there and watch him play on his laptop and watch him play World of Warcraft. And being such a young kid, like, I just remember that little watering can icon. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but the little cursor would change into a watering can. And I just remember that specifically. Like, and then there was, like, dragons and all this stuff happening. And he had, like, a lion that could fly. And I was like, what is this stuff, you know? Like, I never knew that this was all a thing that you could do in gaming. I thought gaming was like, Sims and Mario Brothers.
See,
And he would just always be super nice and super chill, and he'd just explain things as he played. Like, he never got annoyed or anything.
right.
So I was like, this is really awesome.
Because I always
And
love
then,
hearing about how people get into gaming, because it's
yeah,
just so
because it's
interesting.
always so different,
Yeah.
too. Like, some people are like, oh, my whole family is gaming. And then some people are like, oh, I fell into gaming on accident.
Yeah.
But, I genuinely, like, fell in love with, like, watching him play games, and I don't even know, maybe that can attest to why now I play games for people to watch me play, because it's kind of like that feeling of giving someone a space to hang out whenever maybe they don't feel like they're welcome somewhere else. Maybe they don't have anyone else to hang out with at the moment, so it's like, hey, open door policy, you can come in, hang out, and we can play games together. And
Definitely.
it kind of just can create a good, like, environment for people and create a good community.
I definitely think
But yeah,
gaming is like it's weird. At the same time, like it's one of the best places to like start like or like join knowing nothing because it's so like welcoming. But at the same time, it's the complete opposite as well, depending on the game you choose.
yes. It
It's a
can
weird
be
one.
so toxic,
Mm.
and that ruins it for so many people,
I mean, coming from Rainbow Six
which is why I don't
Siege,
like competitive gaming.
yeah, coming from Rainbow Six Siege, I can attest to the fact that it can be very toxic.
Yeah, that is why I never got into that game. I was just
Yeah,
like, nope,
and
can't do it.
honestly, the best days of Siege are gone. There's no point in even bothering trying to get into it anymore. But
Dang, really?
yeah, I
Is
hopped
it
off
that
it.
far gone?
Yeah, I've completely stopped playing now. I stopped playing about a year ago. At this point, it's just gotten worse and worse. And Ubisoft just doesn't care about their games. Like with their latest Extraction, I've lost a friend because of that. Um,
No, what?
yeah, he got like super toxic. I was like, I don't think it looks that great. And he was like, nobody cares about you. Nobody cares about your opinion. I was like, oh, okay, fair enough.
That sucks.
I know, right? But
They're really just out here splitting up
I
friends.
know, right? Cringe. What the fuck, Ubisoft?
Cringe.
But
Do better next time.
so when it comes to games and stuff, obviously, I wouldn't really have much insight on this. But what's it like being like in the gaming atmosphere as like a girl gamer? Like, I mean, do you get a lot of hate when it comes to like certain lobbies or like if you're playing, privately or even
I
when
will
you're
tell
doing
you
your
this.
gaming?
I avoid using in-game chat whenever possible. Like,
Seriously?
pretty much at all
It's
times.
that bad?
Yeah, because as a girl, like, and I'm sure that, sometimes it happens for guys too. And then Parker just ran in here. Anyway, sometimes I'm sure it happens for guys too, but as a girl, it's almost like a good 70 to 80% of the time. Used to be way worse, but now I guess it's more like normalized.
Hmm.
But a good 78 to 80% of the time, if you say one word as a girl, instant hate or just like blatant sexism of guys being like, "Oh, get back in the kitchen. Like you can't play games."
Yeah.
And I mean, like, it's funny as jokes, like, with friends, but whenever you're trying to play online and, like, you try to do a call out or say that someone messes up in the game and everyone's like, oh, come on, man, but it's okay, GG's. If you mess up in the game, but then they know that you're a girl, it's game over.
Yeah,
Like,
I can see
then
that.
you get instant hate, and they're like, see, this is why you shouldn't be here. Like, you don't belong here. Get out. You don't need to be playing. You suck.
That must be
And it's
so
like,
frustrating.
bro.
And I get what you're saying, like that it could be guys and girls. Like usually I kind of say I usually say that on topics. Like I am quite like up for like the rights of both sides, but I do think it's more of an issue for girls when it comes to gaming because I don't really like
Right.
I have a lot of guy friends and I know like you can definitely get a lot of hate for performing badly or like if you're a squeaker, but it just does not seem to be anything compared to what you get if you are a female on certain games. It's not as bad with certain ones, but like definitely the more
Right. Yeah,
competitive
certain
ones.
games, it's like open territory. Like, you play Minecraft? Sure. Go for it. A little bit of Toontown, go for it, girl. You try to play COD or something, especially like Siege. That's why I never touched it really.
Yeah,
But like competitive gaming in general, even if you're trying to just have fun and play casually, it can get messy really quick because a lot
100%.
of guys unfortunately are like, a girl? Get out. And at the other end of that, I also don't like the whole like overly simpy culture, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Like,
just like tell me about it. No, that just annoys me. I'm just gonna make a quick note here because I just want to say something off camera. I don't know what your opinion is of him, but I think it was or something that made a comment, or maybe it was a random person about like the maid outfit or something like that shit.
Oh yeah.
Like that kind of shit pisses me off so much. It's like, fuck off, dude. Like, let's just
Right. Well, because at the time, because I am pretty naive sometimes. Like at the time, I was like, maybe I'll do that. Because like, I wish that I could do the things that like guys can do, if that makes sense, and then like have fun with it. Like I would love to have like a funny like maid outfit and like wear it on stream, but then like I know it wouldn't be seen in the same way.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be like, oh, it's a gamer maid outfit. Like it would be like overly sexualized, and then it's like, dang, I can't do that.
100%. You want me to keep this out? Yeah, because I've got our time down.
Either way.
Okay.
Either way, you can keep it in if you want.
Okay.
Because
I might censor the person's name just in case, but
Oh yeah, absolutely censor names because I wouldn't want to make anyone look bad because, you never know if their intentions are perfectly fine either.
Exactly, like it could have just been in my head, but the way I perceived it, it was not
right.
innocent.
The way that it was said was maybe like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, and that's not.
But
either, so.
I do actively like. I will speak on that. I hate, and I know that like it just comes with the territory, so like I really shouldn't complain. But I just hate having to like have that difference of being a girl is like it's seen as a whole different thing. Like overly glorified for gaming as a girl, but at the same time get put down for being a girl in gaming. So I don't know. Like there's really no in between.
Yeah, and
I've been very, very blessed with the community that I've ended up with because most people that I've come into contact with, as far as viewer wise, have been amazing. Like
right.
I've only had like a few different like trolls, if you'd call them, or like people that just like show up to hate or act that way, but in general, it's amazing. As for people I encounter while playing, however, that's a different story.
Yeah, no, I can get that, especially with back to Rainbow Six Siege, the good old wholesome community.
Oh yeah.
Again, when I say this, I don't mean anything against British people. I have a lot of British friends, but there's quite a large British player base on Siege, and
I never knew that.
There seems to be anyway, because like every party I join, it's British people. But when I hop on, as soon as they hear my accent, they'll comment on it or they'll pull me on it, like with an Irish accent or anything like that. I think me and my friend Nicky, we were playing one day, and he's very good at the game as well, so he clapped back very quickly. But yeah, no, these two British guys joined my party, and we were fine. We were having laughs and whatnot, and then all of a sudden he was like, "So are you from normal Ireland or are you from Nazi Ireland?" It's like,
what in the world?
What do you mean Nazi Ireland? It's like, oh, the one that didn't join Britain. I was like, excusez-moi.
Right, like that's a little sus,
I know,
bro.
right? And there was another time I actually have this on the channel. I think we lost a ranked game or something like that. Actually, no, I think it was casual. And the fellas invited me to the party, and like they were trolling. They were like throwing the game, and I was pissed at it. And they were like, every time I tried to make a comment on like what happened or like why
it went south.
Yeah, exactly. They'd be like, nice accent, nice. I was like, okay, all right, this isn't gonna work.
You're like, shut up.
Yeah. So it's again nothing compared to the girl issue, but I just thought I'd chime in there.
No, but hey, I mean, don't diminish your own experience because that still sucks. Because I'm sure it kind of has deterred you away from speaking in game lobbies before because you're like, I know I'm gonna get the same stuff if I talk.
Honestly, it can do, and it's kind of the reason why, like, whenever I did play Seed, you need communication for that game, and I just straight up just turned off the option on Xbox to receive messages from like people who aren't friended because it's just not worth it. Like the amount of messages you get like every game. But yeah, no, with the gaming as a girl, what about like just in life in general? Like if you talk to people in general, like would they kind of frown upon it if you mention like, oh yeah, my interests are in gaming, like if you're talking to like other girls like around you, like socially?
Yes, actually, for both girls and guys, I feel like it's been it's been good and then it's been bad at the same time. I know
Right.
that that's such a general thing, but I'll explain.
Right. Okay.
Like, I've had guys that are on one end like, oh my gosh, like now I need to date you because you're a girl gamer and like I need me a girl gamer. And I'm like, why do you want to just, like why are you randomly trying to date me because I play video games?
Right.
That's interesting. And then there's girls also that are like, what? Why would you like gaming? That's a guy's thing. Like, why aren't you more into like fashion or makeup? And I'm like, because I don't really care for that. Like, even my style is a lot more like I like streetwear and like beanies and hats and stuff. And like a lot of people are like, why don't you want to wear a dress? And I'm like, no thanks.
Yeah,
I'd rather not.
is the bubblegum kind of like overly girly style? Is that like sarcastically, or like is that just your style that you like anyway? Like with the multicolored shirt, like is that
See, I love that kind of stuff.
yeah?
It's like, it's so confusing, right? Because it's like, I don't really wear like dresses and skirts and stuff, and I don't really care about makeup. But at the same time, I love like cutesy colors and cutesy things.
That's
I don't
fair.
know.
I
But
wasn't sure whether it was
just
an
I love me
ironic
some
thing. It
gaming.
was like, oh yeah, no, I'm gonna make it like overly pink for the
Right,
sake of doing
overly
it.
bubbly and
Yeah.
stuff. It is kind of funny though, like now that you point that out, it's so funny to think of like someone probably finds my channel and is like, oh nice, like she probably plays like really cutesy games and stuff, and then you open a video or
Doki
you open a
doki.
stream and yeah, Doki Doki, and I'm being super sarcastic and oh boy, people probably get so thrown off by that.
That's pretty
I don't
fun to
know,
think
but
about.
it's great though. I'd rather it be that way because then it's like, what a surprise.
Oh
And
yeah,
you
no.
either hate it or you love it. So yeah.
Oh no, you definitely have your own style. It's nice because like a lot of, I think that's the difference between channels that can actually like succeed and channels that kind of fade away. It's like a lot of people try and do what everyone else around them is doing, whereas I think you're kind of sticking to your guns and doing what you want to do yourself.
Thank you. I definitely, not to like sound like I'm like, oh yeah, I agree, but I agree in the way that it's like, I've always just kind of done what I want to do,
Mm,
but, at the same time, I'm always open to like experiment with different videos and styles and games and stuff,
right.
which is why I've actually had so much fun with, the horror genre lately, is because if I wouldn't have listened to any suggestions, then I'd be missing out on some really top tier games to play.
Oh, definitely.
But overall, with my content, I don't want to be like just another channel, and especially being a girl, like kind of feeding back into that topic.
Mm.
Especially being a girl gamer, ooh ooh.
Epic
I
girl
don't want to
boss.
be like all the other girl gamers where it's like, not saying that all girl gamers are like this, and even if you are, there's nothing wrong with that. But I don't want to be like that over the top, like I'm wearing cat ear on my
Oh yeah,
headphones.
yeah, I get you.
Yeah, and like my face cam is taking up like 50% of the screen. Like, I've just never wanted to be that style of girl gamer
Yeah.
content creator.
Oh, that
So
definitely made
I'm
me
happy that I don't think people see me that way,
hmm.
at least to my knowledge.
No, I don't really think so. I don't really see it in the community. It's definitely not prevalent anyway. But
Right? They're just like, hey, gaming.
exactly. But that's like, I think that's one of the things that's made me stick around your channel so long because like, again, not to generalize, but like a lot of the channels that I do see from like female creators or maybe just the ones that get more popular, it is that style of content, and it's sad to see as well because like there is definitely an audience for your style of content. I mean, it's obvious from your subscriber base that there is an audience for that, but like your more bubbly style, like is what I mean, like without the face cam taking up 70%. Nothing.
Right. Oh, now we bumped it up from 50 to 70. Take up 99%.
Oh yeah.
No, but I definitely agree. And like I'm happy that I can kind of like fit into that in between space where it's like for the people that don't just want the like over the top girly like, in your face, I am a female streamer. Instead it's like, hey, I play games and then I happen to also be a girl, so like if you want to stick around for the games and for my personality, then great.
Exactly.
I hope that you do that.
It's actually, I've been playing with games with my friends and using the girl boss line, and they've been so confused. Like I just
Yes,
keep using
girl
it out of
boss.
context.
Listen, that's one of my favorite things ever. The gatekeep gaslight girl boss.
They hate to
And
see girl boss
especially,
win.
like, I love whenever we're all playing, like, DBD or something, and we're just like, yes, girl boss, you got this.
I mean, that's the thing, though. Even the guys in the call get on with the joke. You know what I mean?
Yes, like, everyone can be a girl boss, but not
Exactly.
everyone is a girl boss. You know what I mean? Like, you have to earn the title girl boss.
True, true. The distinction is definitely important.
Yes.
I remember I was playing Dead by Daylight with Hayden, and he was mentioning that, like, ever since he's known you, your, like, kind of dream or, like, aspiration was to, like, become a YouTuber or, like, a creator.
Absolutely. Like, oh, shout out to Hayden, because he has literally had to sit there and listen to me go on passionate rambles about it. Like, anyone that's known me for a very long time knows that, like, I don't know, like, I feel like I can't have a conversation without at least being like, so, like, do you like YouTube, or do you like videos, or do you play games, or have you ever dreamed about making an impact on the world? Like, I don't know. I just, like, I creep it into a conversation somehow. It's never intentional, usually, but it's just, like, I'm so passionate about it that I, like, have to talk about it, and if I don't talk about it, then I guess I just, like, daydream about it.
Right, right.
But no, Hayden's been amazing from day one, but he's seen it all. He's seen the really bad, like, me doing Minecraft. Like, I used to make him do, and when I say make him, I didn't hold him at gunpoint or anything.
If
But
any
I used to
lawyers are
have,
listening, you know, there was no force
yeah,
use.
if any lawyers are listening, I am legally inclined to let you know that he agreed to do it. But I used to have him help me do Xbox 360 Minecraft tutorial videos.
Damn,
So
so
I'd be
you did
like,
the epic content. Oh,
oh, absolutely. Like, this was back when, like, YouTube wasn't really
YouTube.
a big thing, I wouldn't think.
Yeah.
Like, no one was really grinding it out as a career or anything like that, which is why I, like, kind of miss the way that it was,
Yeah, I
but I'm
think they were the
happy with the
better
way that it is
days.
now, too. Yeah. Like, it's a win-lose at the same time. It's like, I wish that it was like it was back then, but at the same time, I'm thankful that everyone has an opportunity
Right.
to have a career in their dreams.
Like, on the one
But
hand, they'll
no.
never have a Vine again. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, well, I suppose
You
TikTok is
can't do
kind
it
of
for
a
the
modern,
Vine anymore.
but it's not really the same. But, like,
Right, but who's going around saying do it for the TikTok?
exactly. But, like, with that as well, it's become very corporate,
Yes.
which
That's the part of it that I don't really care for.
yeah.
I'm like, it's fine to, like, care about the algorithm and, like, try to rank your videos higher, because it's important. If you're trying to have a good outreach, then, you know, you should try to do your research and try to grow. But it seems like a lot of people are getting on the bandwagon solely for that reason.
Yeah, definitely.
And it's like, it just kind of sucks, because it's like, some of those people, because they're really good with statistics and stuff, they can go much further than someone that say that they're super passionate about it, and they just want to make a positive impact on people, and you know, maybe they're like a musician and they love music, and they try their best to, like, get their songs out there and stuff. But then you have someone that's like, I'm just gonna make $1 billion because I know how to work the algorithm, but I hate doing this, and it's not a passion, and I don't care about making a difference. I just want more money.
It definitely comes
That's
down
the
to
part that sucks.
YouTube's policy has been so all over the place as well when it comes to content and what they
Yes.
want on their site. It's like content creators that I like that be more edgy humor or anything like that are kind of completely shunned nowadays, because you know you can't be too PG, because then you have to label your content for kids, otherwise it'll be, you know, taken down by the COPPA or whatever.
Right.
But you also can't go overboard either, because then they don't want advertisers to be on that. So, like, there's
Exactly.
a lot of censorship going on with that kind of problem.
Exactly.
And then,
Like, I think that there's even, like, what is it? The first, like, 15 seconds to a minute of your video, like, if you can avoid cussing, then it helps your video rank or something like that.
which, you
It's
know,
wild to think about.
for a site that has literal, like, next to softcore porn ads for advertisements sometimes is quite
True.
hypocritical. Like, well, like some videos I've seen, like, you know, like the really bad mobile app things that
Oh my gosh, yes.
they'll have like a bunch of like girl anime characters like getting
I'm just gonna say it. Boobs. In your screen.
You really had to, yeah. But you know what I
I'm
mean. Like they'll
sorry.
have them on like
I'm just gonna.
they'll have them like lewd or like kinky like
Exactly,
wear or something like that. And it's like,
But it's
why?
for a game like a freaking like played this puzzle game, but then it has like
Nothing to
girls
do.
on there that's
Yeah.
like barely wearing clothes, and you're like, I'm not sure if that's what the game's about
Have you seen the
really at
ones for
all.
like those? I can't remember the names of them offhand, but there's like ones for. First of all, let me just point this out before I
Oh
say
god.
anything. These ads, I don't care what you say, they are not based off your search. I just want to point that
Oh
out real quick before I
no.
say this. Okay, I do not believe they cannot be because like, the amount of bullshit I see that has nothing to do with what I have. But
Right. I can attest to that.
yeah. But anyway, so now that I've got that out of the way, the amount of like ads that literally lead you to hentai, right? They actually bring you to it, right? And then there's
Wow.
another one as well that again I can't remember the names of them, but there's like they're kind of zombie ads, like zombie fighting ad. I don't know if you've seen any of them. Like it's kind of like a like army of
Uh,
zombie, like that kind of
yeah,
stuff. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It's like shoot hordes of
Yeah, yeah,
zombies and blah blah
exactly.
blah.
They'll have those.
Yeah.
But there was a really, really bad one that I hated there going back maybe a month ago. And I think I saw like 3 separate ads from them, but the one that keeps coming back is they had one where it was like a few girls lying down at like a firing or like a shooting range, and like every time they'd fire, the jiggle physics would just go to fucking
Oh
200.
no.
Yeah, like, and again, nothing to do with the gameplay. Just yeah,
Right. Like I guarantee you it was like a word search game.
yeah, exactly. But yet that can be on YouTube. But me saying frick is gonna get me demonetized. You know, like
Exactly. I
it's
don't know. I don't get it. It's confusing. I think that they're a little bit lost on what direction they want to even go.
hmm.
So they just keep going different directions and then backpedaling and then changing it and then fixing it and
Well,
I don't
it's
know.
just so vague because even like if you do something wrong, you can appeal it. But if you lose the appeal, you get a strike. So it's like, why do I even bother? You know?
Right. It's like, do I appeal it or not?
Yeah.
Like, do I even say the words that I shouldn't say?
And
You
when they
guys
have
didn't say what words not to say either.
exactly. And they had that. I don't know if they still have that issue, but I remember music copyright was a very, very big issue going back like a
Oh
year or
my
so ago.
gosh, yes.
Like I reacted to this kid. Right, it was when I was doing this channel shout out thing, and I reacted to this kid's channel, and he had like Justin Bieber music in the background, and his video was still up. But then my video that reacted to it was going to be taken down because Justin Bieber's music was
What?
in the background. Yeah, I was like, what? How does this isn't fair.
How? They really skipped the middleman and went
Yeah.
straight for you.
But like even
Listen,
it
if it makes you feel any better, I didn't get striked for it, thankfully, but I had a video get demonetized because I was playing Roblox. And there was a song in one of the games. Don't judge me for playing Roblox, by the way.
I'm
'Cause
no,
if you
I'm
do,
not. No.
I'll judge you for judging me.
No.
But no, like I was playing Roblox. It was like a meme time. We were all having fun. I end the stream, and then I think I got an email like the next day, and it was like demonetized. And I was like, what?
I'll do you one better.
Oh,
All
I
right.
just took the video down. I was like, just forget it.
I'll do you one better.
One better.
Yep. I think it was Observer. It's a horror game. Okay. It's actually the same developers as Layers of Fear, but yeah.
What?
So Observer. I was playing through it, put up a few episodes. I completed it anyway, but one of the episodes I put up, I wake up the next morning with a copyright claim, and I'm like, okay, must have been some of the music. So I go in, I look at the clip. Do you know what they copyright claimed me for?
Oh no, what?
It wasn't music. They copyright claimed me for a scream sound effect
What?
in the game. Yeah,
There's literally no way.
I'm telling you. Yeah,
It was a scream in the game,
Yeah.
and they literally copyright?
there was like a
Wow.
yell or something. Like it wasn't the Wilhelm scream, but it was like something like that, and they copyright claimed me for it. So I had to like mute that little
Dang.
scream. But I was like, what the fuck?
Right? And it's so funny too, because probably in the game you were like, did you guys hear that?
Yeah, and they're like,
And they're like,
hmm.
no. You're like, I think you might be a little bit crazy.
And I know like that music thing, it got very, very bad. Like it got to the stage where some creator, his music, like his personally made music, got copyright claimed. I was like,
Oh
how
my
did this get
god.
claimed? This is my music. I made this. And like,
Right, like you guys don't own the rights to this,
yeah,
I do.
because that's what they were doing with it. I don't know. Again, I still don't know if they're still doing this, but like the whole thing with the copyright was like the companies got to claim it, and then if you said no, you're incorrect on that, YouTube was like, well, major music company, what do you think? Are they wrong or right?
Right.
And then
Like, what do we think here?
yeah, it's like the company, like the music company, got to decide whether or not your claim was correct or not. And obviously, they're gonna say it's correct. It's incorrect.
Right.
But you know, like that was so stupid. And then Stephen Crowder got taken down like a while back, and the reason they gave for it was just blank. It was like the reason
What?
you've been, yeah, the reason you know, like the little box
Like,
that
how are you
comes up.
supposed to avoid doing it if it's blank?
Yeah, it was the same for Twitter as well. He got it, like, I think it was the same day. It came up and it was like, the reason for your suspension is, and there's just nothing there.
Wow.
So, yeah, no, it's insane.
Welcome to the void.
I know, right? So, moving on, you have been, I know it probably sounds weird to you, but, like, technically speaking, you are a YouTuber. Like, you're fairly successful here. I think it's like your full time now, right? Like, this is your
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, more so thanks to streaming,
definitely, yeah.
obviously, because, you know,
Well, content
I have not
creator,
been
then.
contributing to YouTube.
Thanks, Lee.
Yeah, content creator works.
Thanks
But
YouTube for getting me off the stepping paddle there. I'm gonna just leave you with the dust. I'm heading over to Twitch right now.
yeah, really, I'm like, sorry, I just fell in love, so can't cheat on Twitch now.
But
No,
with
but
that,
I'm actually going to be returning to YouTube this month.
yes, yes, looking forward to that.
But yes, I'm excited. But until then, yeah, I mean, content creation has become my full-time job, and it's solely thanks to the community.
Maybe
So
you
like
could use
without
Poppy Playtime as your comeback, seeing as though you might not be able to stream it.
Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, you know what, this could be a good, because I was gonna do a whole thing, like, in case I still can pull it off, I won't go into detail, but I was gonna do this whole comeback thing, and just kind of, like, push my limits with, like, editing and videography to kind of try that new style.
Yeah.
But, sadly, I don't think that I have the right tools to make that happen, so it might just have to wait, and then maybe I can do it somehow in a future video, but I thought about using Poppy's Playtime.
Yeah, I've had that kind of situation with some videos before. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna go fully in on this, and then I'm like, you know, 2/3 of the way through the video, I was like, yeah, it's good enough. It's just
Oh no!
but
Right, like, what it is, I'll just be honest, like, what it is I need, like, specific camera equipment, basically, to, like, make this one part of it work.
Yeah.
And without that one part, it kind of just loses all of its meaning, really, so I don't know if I even want to attempt it if it can't be at its best, if that makes sense.
Oh, I get you. I have this Fallout 4 video that I think I told you. It's the one where Xbox deleted like all my 54, 56 clips from my like 28-hour playthrough.
Oh my god.
But I wanted to do this little like bit at the start where it was like a noir kind of like detective intro, and I can't like really do the camera angle without like a tripod or something and an actual camera. So
right, so it kind of just defeats the whole like feel of what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
That's like kind of what I want to use like my comeback for is like learning to think outside of the box with what I have, and then like evolving my style with experience. I don't know.
Yeah, I get you. And then when it comes to that YouTube, grind, you know, I guess like maybe not recording. How should I put this? When you go to play a game, a lot of the time you're streaming, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So like, how do you get much free time to just kind of play what you want to play yourself, or like play with friends, just you know, off camera? Yeah. Like that must be difficult.
Not really. I will say since going full time, because I've only been full time for a couple months now. Before that, no free time at all. Like I wouldn't sleep because I would stay up because I used to have to be at work around 7 in the morning.
Right.
I would stay up and I would record videos, and then I would edit the video. I'd try to record another video so I had it. If I didn't have time to do it, I'd go to work. On my break, I would go home because I lived closer to my job at the time too.
Right.
I would go on my break, my 30-minute break, I would drive home, I would upload the video, do all the stuff for it. I don't know why I didn't know about schedule uploading until later on. Don't ask me. But I would literally do all this stuff, upload the video, go home after work, record more videos, edit, Like, I never, ever, ever had free time ever. I was constantly just awake at all times.
That's
But
so
since going
shitty.
full time, I still don't have time because now since I do like monthly subathons and I stream pretty late. Like usually I start my stream and I'm supposed to end, and then I just have too much fun, so I keep streaming. And sometimes that goes on until like 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah, damn.
So now my sleep schedule's messed up. Working on getting that on track, and that's actually a huge factor in me returning to YouTube. Is that I need to sleep if I'm gonna make that happen.
Oh, 100%. As I said, like a couple weeks back, remember I said like about my sleep schedule was like, yeah,
Yeah,
you really
you were
need
on
to
a
like.
struggle.
Oh, I felt like I was gonna faint like halfway through the day every day. It was like, no, I
Yeah,
can't keep doing
and that's
this.
just not it.
No.
Like, I love hanging out with chat and stuff, but I have got to get it together. Like, I've got to get a grip.
No, definitely, definitely. And like when it comes to when you're up at like 3, 4 a.m., I suppose like I don't mean this as an insult, but I think we're both quite monotone when it comes to
Oh,
like yeah.
absolutely.
So maybe you don't really have this issue as opposed to someone who's maybe like a bit louder, but do you get like noise complaints or anything like that?
Oh, no,
No?
absolutely not. I live in a very, very small town,
Okay.
and where I live in that small town is full of a bunch of other loud people, so
Okay.
everyone's just always loud. If anything, I'm the one that's like, well, this stream's gonna be a little bit noisy in the background, but it's okay.
Oh, okay.
But no, I haven't had anyone complain or anything,
Ah, not too bad. So,
which is surprising now that I think about it, because I never really considered that. Then again, I am probably so quiet compared to what I think that I'm being.
well, I think
So I always feel like I'm yelling.
you actually have that like kind of soundproof stuff on the wall, right? Or do you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
on
yeah.
the ceiling and on the walls,
Yeah, so that probably
everywhere.
helps.
I even use like the blackout curtains, just that extra little anything to help.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Also, just out of
But
interest, this question like it would be on the stream or not the stream, Jesus. I was
is it
reading
just gonna be random?
I was reading like the top of Discord was like streamer mode is enabled, blah blah blah. But it'll probably be on the podcast anyway, but I just wanted to ask, where do you like so like you have your studio or whatever, but do you have like any windows in that room at all or like
Yeah, actually, there's 2 windows. There's one behind my setup, which is right behind my face cam,
hmm.
and then I have one that is next to me that is in the frame, and then in Streamlabs I just crop it in that way you don't see it.
See, like
Um,
when I see when I got this chair, by the way, gaming chairs, holy shit, they're so fucking comfortable. I'm never going back to that shit.
right?
It
Didn't
was
you end up getting a
Batman one.
Secret Labs chair, right?
I did. Um,
That's I've got my eye on Secret Labs as my next chair. I don't know when or if, but I've got my eyes on it.
I will say it was definitely well, like it was definitely expensive, but it was worth it. It's definitely good chairs.
Right.
Um,
An investment if you're gonna use it.
exactly. I might actually, if you don't mind, I might send you the video after this of me putting it together because although the video quality isn't
Yes,
great,
please.
it was still quite fun. So, but with that, I was like so concerned. Like, I'm one of those people who's like, if I leave this plug like a tiny, tiny millimeter out, will the house go on fire? Like,
Oh no.
so like when I got this chair, I was so concerned. I was like, if I like keep the curtains open, like, is the sun gonna like destroy the leather or something? Like, is it gonna like affect the PU leather? Because I had my
Right,
old
which I can see
chair.
where that'd be
Yeah,
a thing on your mind, like,
because I had my old chair and like I don't know what happened to it because like the rest of it was fine, but like just like a section of it like bubbled, like the leather was bubbled.
oh,
Yeah, I don't know
interesting.
what caused it.
How
So
bright is the sun where you are?
well, actually, my room is actually one of the hottest in the house because the
Oh
sun comes directly
no.
through my window like most of the day, and the hot press. I don't know like how heating works over there. You guys have AC. We don't have AC, but
Wow.
yeah, yeah. Because someone was asking me, was like, oh, what if you're too warm? What do you do? I was like, we have this cool thing called opening the window. uh,
Oh no, or a fan, I
yeah.
guess. I don't know.
But the hot
I just can't
press.
imagine having no AC. What the heck?
Yeah. So the hot
But yeah,
press
no.
heats the
I
water,
recommend the
and that'll heat the radiators. So like that hot press is right in my closet in my room. So
Oh, great.
it's like a sauna in here in the evenings.
Dang, and you've got, your setup and stuff that's gonna emit heat.
Yep. So
Dang.
it's a fun time.
It's just bad. Because I was gonna say, like, I always recommend, like, what is it? What is it called? The curtains that I was literally just talking about.
Oh, like blackout curtains?
The blackout curtains, yeah. I always recommend that, but now I'm starting to think, like, maybe not for you, because if that's in your room and it's always hot in there, then maybe you don't want to trap it in even more.
Well, I do have, like, I assume what you mean by blackout curtains, like, there's white on the outside and, like, black on the inside. Is that what you're talking about?
It could be. Like, mine is black completely, but
black kind of, like, absorbs
I think I think it's the same kind of concept. Yeah. It's basically just, like, super thick curtains that try to block out any sunlight at all.
Yeah.
For those gremlins of society that, you don't want the sun to touch your skin.
Because...
Talking about myself here.
Oh, no, trust me, I'm Irish, bro. I go on holidays, I get burned, and I come home and just skip the tan. I just go straight back to
Right, and you're like, and that was a holiday to Alaska, so I don't know, or Antarctica.
I know, right? But yet, like, with the chair, it's like, I'm not too concerned. Like, I've had it for a few months now, although, like, my curtain kind of has been closed over a bit. Not completely closed, but, like, kind of just covering the area where the sun could hit the chair. I've kind of had it covered.
Right.
But I'm not really that concerned about it all bubbling. It was just more so because it's a Batman chair, I didn't want the emblem getting, like, fucked up, but...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because that's, like, one of the most important parts.
Exactly. But I only just
realized... If that gets messed up, it's game over.
Wait a minute, that's knitted in anyway. That's not even, like, the same material, so that's fine. That's not...
Oh, no, so all this time you've been worried.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing's gonna happen.
You're like, well,
but,
there's that.
But yeah, no. It's definitely worth getting the Secret Labs, because I thought you had one, so that's why I was asking you. I was like, have you had any?
No, I have the Clutch Gaming.
Ah, okay.
Don't get me wrong, very good quality. It's great. Like, I've had it for, gosh, it's been forever. I've had it for like 5 years now.
Damn.
And it's been amazing from the start, but it's like more of a leathery material, and I know that Secret Labs has more of the cloth material you can get.
You can.
And that's kind of what I'm thinking.
My one is leather, but I think it's just because it was like the Batman edition. Like, I don't think the cloth would have really worked with it. But
yeah, it would have clashed.
But I think you do have that option depending on what chairs you get. Yeah.
Sorry, the cat is in here, and I'm like really allergic to cats.
Oh, okay.
And I just keep sneezing.
Does Parker and the cat get along, or like do both the dogs and the cat get along, or no?
Absolutely. Like, yeah. Parker's one of those dogs, I think he just gets along with everyone. Except for when he plays, he growls. Like, he sounds like he's mad. But he wants you to play. Like, he'll bring his toy over to me and then growl at me. Until I play with him. Oh. And I'm like, dude, why are you so grumpy all the time?
My dog is such a cunt, I swear. Like, so I'd be doing something, right? I'd be mostly when I'm eating and watching something at like the kitchen table or something, like having breakfast, and he'll jump at me and he'll like bark to get my attention, and he wants me to play with him. Like, all right, fine. So I stand up, and as soon as I stand up, he'll fucking run away.
Oh my god!
So like I sit back down, a few minutes pass by, and he's right back at me again. I'm like, boy, do you want me to play or not? Like.
Right, you're giving me mixed signals here. Like, can you just make up your mind?
And then even with the toy, he'll tease me with it. So, like, he'll bring it over, I'll grab it, throw it, he'll bring it back, but he won't bring it back all the way. It looks like he's bringing it back. I'll get down on my knees to pick it up, and then he'll run away again.
What the heck? Now, let me ask you this. Seeing as your dog has tendencies to maybe be a jerk, would you rather be able to, like, hear what your dog is thinking or no?
Oh, 100%. I'd like to have a whole conversation with this dude so I can...
No. He won't be able to understand you.
Oh.
But you'll just hear everything. Like the internal monologue of your dog.
Oh, I probably feel too guilty.
Like he could be calling you all sorts of things.
Yeah, no, I probably feel too guilty. I think I'll stick to the the barks.
Oh no, I feel like Parker would just be thinking like, ball. I want to play ball. He's not the smartest, but he's my baby.
So, just back to that point, just before the next topic, so with, like, friends and stuff, like, you don't get any, like, time at all to, like, just experience a game yourself or like play with your friends off camera?
Well, see, for the past couple of months now I do,
Okay.
but I don't utilize that time the way that I should, because with the sleep schedule thing, I'll either sleep in too late and then I have to do other stuff, and then by the time that I'm like, okay, now I could play games, I'm like, oh, I need to get ready for stream. And then I'm like, oh wait, did I eat dinner yet? I need to do that. Oh god. And then I'm just like rushing to get ready, and then that's where pixel time always comes in, because I
Right, right.
swear, behind the scenes, it's always something. Like, always. And then everyone always memes, and it's like, it's a funny meme at this point on the channel.
Well, you were
But
on
it's
time today.
true. True. Kind of. Late to... okay, it was a whole thing. Time zones are weird. I was late, you were late, and then we were early, technically. I don't know what was happening.
It was down to me. It was my fault, to be fair. But
At first it was, and then it was my fault. So, we're even, like you said.
I was petrified.
Oh no.
But yeah, like, yeah, that sucks though, because like, you definitely like, not like, you don't have to be fake when you're making content, but like, you definitely have to put on a certain persona, or like, to an extent,
Kind of
to
like
be entertaining.
amplify.
Yeah, exactly. Like, amplify certain sides of yourself in order to be entertaining.
Right, like if I'm just gaming, other than like mumbling to myself here and there, I'm not really like talking out loud about it.
Yeah.
So whenever I'm streaming or recording, definitely it's different, because I'm commentating the entire time.
Yeah, exactly. Like, there's some games that, like, there's games you can play on stream, and there's, or, like, in general, like, you know, like, for content.
Right.
And then there's some games that you just don't want to. You want to experience it yourself, so you can take it more seriously, and, like, you don't have any distractions. I have that opinion when it comes to Days Gone and Ghost of Tsushima. They were two really, really good games.
Two games that I sadly haven't played yet, but I could see your point, especially with Days Gone, like, because I know at least more about that to understand where you're coming from.
Right.
And I agree.
Because Days
It's
Gone
like,
got a lot
that
of...
would be a game where you want to focus on all the little different details.
Oh, definitely. And especially because it takes, more so with Days Gone, it takes so much time to actually get into Days Gone, because, like, it's quite a long game, which people take as a negative, but, like, personally, I see it as quite positive. Like, you have so much more time to actually, like, get to know the characters and stuff before anything really, like, kicks off. But
I think that's a good thing too.
Yeah, I can definitely see where people have an issue with it, but it definitely, that game gets a lot of shit, and I hate that, because a lot of my favorite games people don't usually like. Like, some of my favorite games are the original Watch Dogs game that came out from
okay, yeah.
Ubisoft.
I've heard a lot of hate
Yeah.
on the newest one, I think, that came out.
The newest one deserved it. But
oh no,
yeah.
Even you think that, and that's like one of your favorites?
Yeah, well,
the original, at least.
Yeah, well, the original was really good, because it was dark, it was gritty, and people, like, especially nowadays, when you have a character like that, people kind of meme on it. They're like, oh, you know, emo, but it's like, no, it's just a serious story. That's all. He's not emo for having,
right, like it's meant to be,
yeah, like,
the way that it's constructed.
Do you think you'll play Watch Dogs? Do you mind if I spoil stuff?
Yeah, you can spoil it.
Okay, sweet. So for anyone who hasn't played, just beware, spoilers.
Spoiler warning.
But yeah, when it comes to Aiden Pierce, that's the name of the main character in Watch Dogs. Sorry, I just write some down. So yeah, when it comes to Aiden Pierce, he starts out, right? First of all, he's a criminal hacker at the very, very beginning of the game. And then basically he robs the wrong people. Like, he fucks with the wrong people.
How do you do that?
And they...
Or no, wait. Sorry, I got that so mixed up. I thought you meant that he was, like, supposed to rob someone specific, and then he,
yeah, I tried to make the distinction. I said it the first, I was like,
no. He was like, oh no, I thought you said rob the guy with the red hat on. I'm sorry. Anyway, I got you now.
So he ends up kind of ripping off, or, like, getting in the way of, like, this really big crime kingpin. And the kingpin, or, like, whoever, sets out a hit on him, and he's in the car with his niece, his, like 7-year-old niece or something like that. And the hit goes wrong, and they kill the niece instead of him. And that's where, like, his character starts. And it's like, why would you expect...
The origin story.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, why would you expect that character to be cheerful in any way? Like...
True. Like, the entire game seems to be built upon a really tragic event happening.
Exactly. I think I think Watch Dogs, maybe it was down to the advertising, I don't know, but I think it sold itself as a certain game, and then it was a completely different game. I think that's what people had an issue with. But yeah, no, personally, I
Right.
think
See, like, whenever I think Watch Dogs, I just think, like, computers and hacking
yeah,
and
yeah, which there is that
probably
element,
stealth.
but I think when it comes to Watch Dogs, it gives you the most, maybe not realistic, but like the most entertaining uh, experience of being like a vigilante that I think any game has came close to. I think it masters it so beautifully. But then the problem with Watch Dogs 3 is the fact that, you know, they had this whole system where they were like, you can be anyone. You know, like, did you see that? Is like you could, any NPC in the game you can be.
Yes,
Yeah,
I did see that, and I thought that was interesting.
it is. It is
Not sure how that
interesting.
would play in the game.
Exactly. It is interesting, but it's flawed in the way that the story gets weakened because of that. Because you don't have character development for anyone, there's no emotional attachment there whatsoever. It's like there's no depth. It's just another NPC, you know?
True, because it's like, at least I personally feel like people are the story. Like,
Yeah,
even in real life, it's like people are the most relatable things because you are also a person
that is true.
and you experience emotions and different things, and so do other people. So,
All of this is
I don't
accurate.
know. Right, like it's weird that they would take that element out of the game
Hmm.
whenever, based on what you're saying at least, it seems like the first one was built almost on that exact thing that they took away from the third one.
Definitely, yeah. And that's like, see, Watch Dogs is actually quite interesting. The first one, dark, gritty, really good story, everything like that, yeah. Again, in my opinion, people will disagree. Um, in the second one, though, it does a complete 180. And it's like, it added, well, first of all, it added the more cooperative online play. So, like, there was funny moments of people, like, fucking around and shit. So, obviously, that made
Right.
people like it more. You could go online and just have the crack. Um, but then the story and the characters themselves were a lot more upbeat. It was a lot more of a funnier side to it. So, like, it depends on what game you're looking to get into. If you're looking to have that just kind of like Ubisoft, you know, wonky kind of fun with a game, then yeah, you're obviously going to be disappointed with Watch Dogs, the original. But if you're looking for a solid setup, story, and like, you know, dark tone, then absolutely, yeah, the first one is a stellar game. I watched you know how I said I was gonna make it like a kind of video essays channel or like a, you know,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm really looking forward to doing that. But one of the things that set me into doing that was a channel called Rasputin, and he did a lot of like kind
I
of
feel like
like,
I've heard of this.
I think you might have, yeah. It's a pretty big channel, but his content and a video I watched from another channel, but it was a psychological analysis of Aiden Pierce, and it was like an hour and a half long, just talking about his character, what kind of like thoughts and like
See, I
stuff.
love stuff like that.
Yeah, same. It's really interesting, and actually talking about that brings me around to your connection with Dardigan, which I think he's a pretty cool dude.
Very much so.
Have how
And
did
if
you?
I'm correct
Oh,
on
yep.
this, didn't you know of him before we even met?
I did, and I tried my hardest not to fanboy during that Among Us session.
Right, you were like, oh no, it's him in the flesh. Well, in the
In the
suit,
virtual.
in the Among Us. But yeah, I have known Dart now for a couple years since about the time that I started my channel, really, I would think.
Mm,
Because he was a family friend of some of my family. I won't get like into every detail in
right.
case that, you know, it would be too much
Breach of privacy. I got you.
yeah, too much stuff on his sake and mine. But he was like a family friend kind of thing, and then I was told basically that he was like, hey, I know that you're trying to do content creation, and I do it full time. If you ever need any advice or anything, I'd like to help you kind of figure out how to get up and running. And for a while, I didn't really take that advice because I was like, I don't want to bother him, you know, like, if he's doing this full time, it's crazy that someone in my small town is doing this thing that I've dreamed of doing. But, you know, I don't want to bother him or anything. And then finally I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna go for it. And then I emailed him, and he emailed me back, and we ended up becoming good friends. It wasn't just like a, hey, want to help, teach me about YouTube and how the internet works? It was like, hey, let's meet up and talk about it. And then we did, and then it was instantly like, hey, we're close friends now. And then from that point on, we were friends. It wasn't a mentorship or anything.
That's a funny thing. I thought you guys were dating back then.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Actually, I think a lot of people might have thought that.
I think so.
We've had some comments in chat and stuff during his streams whenever we do the duo streams where people will be like,
I noticed that
boyfriend,
in,
girlfriend?
House of Ashes. I noticed that.
Yeah. And I'm like, listen, the only one dating here is Rachel, and she's dating everyone.
Fuck Rachel.
She's for the streets.
Yep. Anyway. But,
Anyway.
yes, I don't know what that was. It's just something in my throat. Sorry.
Yeah, I heard something in my headphones, but I wasn't sure if you heard it too.
Yeah, sorry about that. But, yeah, so, I'm not gonna lie. Even being a fan, when it comes to Dardigan, I definitely felt quite, I don't know, like, intimidated. It feels like he could be quite, like, a very serious person.
See, that's the impression I think a lot of people have, but then you get to know him and it's like, sure, he's very like serious because he's a very driven person, but he's a funny dude. He's got some one-liners, he's got some sarcasm.
I think it's
but I mean like funny in a sense of like he's a very lighthearted, so to speak, too. You wouldn't expect.
Because even like when I asked you about like getting some advice before doing the channel, I was very hesitant to even say that because I was like, oh no, he's done so many of these videos, like so much research and so much time put into them. He's probably gonna tell me that it's like, yeah, no, you've got no chance at this.
No, absolutely not. Listen, if he thinks that I have a chance, then you certainly have a chance because I feel like I really love your content and the fact that you put so much time and energy into it. And it's like my content, like some of my videos is literally just me like memeing around. I was literally chasing a granny and trying to kill her in a game and I uploaded that and I liked it. But
to be fair, that's quality content.
Well, listen, how could it not be? I honestly got that game, I'm talking about Granny Simulator, it was like one of my old videos, but I got that game under the impression that you played as the granny, and that you literally, baked cookies and stuff, and, like, I was just gonna play it and, like, kind of, like, jokingly roleplay as the granny, but nope, you literally are trying to kill your grandma, so that was an interesting twist when I got into the game.
Very interesting.
But, yeah, Dart is a super, super, like, helpful guy, and then as much as he's judgmental in his videos, like, he judges games hard. He is not like that in person. Like, he's laid back, but he's so hardworking, and then he's, like, down to have fun.
That's pretty epic.
So, I don't know. I didn't expect it at first, because you see his content and you're like, wow, he's so, like, cut and dry and so harsh, and you just expect, like, oh god, he's gonna be so, like, scary to be around. But no, he's just like, hey, what's up? And you're just like, oh, okay, this is cool.
Epic. It's incredible how small the world is, really, when you think about it with the internet.
It really is. Like, I would have never thought that someone, not only of that scale in content creation, but, like, just someone of that nature. Like, he doesn't seem like he's even from this area to begin with, but I've, like, had people say the same about me, too, so I don't know if it's just, like, we are weird outcasts of society and where we live. We're the stragglers.
When it comes to... Okay, so we've talked a lot about your YouTube side and I suppose your connections with YouTube and whatnot. But what about outside YouTube? What does Kate like aside from gaming? What would be like your interests? Like any kind of like any favorite movies or anything like that?
Things that I like outside of gaming? I don't exist outside of gaming. I'm not real.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I really like longboarding. It's, I don't know if you know what longboarding is.
I actually
Maybe
don't.
You do?
No.
Okay. So longboarding is like skating, but it's more like cruising. Okay. So instead of a street board, which is like the typical, in movies you see the skateboard, you take it to the skate park, do flip tricks and stuff.
Right.
This is more of like a it's a wider board with a lot chunkier wheels, and the wheels are softer. They're not made of polyurethane. So you can
This
go
sounds
over
like a
like bumps and
motorbike.
stuff. And yeah, really, no. But maybe not that big.
Right,
But
Or
it's kind of just
scooter.
like picture a surfboard at a baby with a skateboard, and that's a longboard.
Honest, I've never
And
understood. No, I get skateboards. Like, don't get me, it looks pretty cool, but I don't understand how you start because, like, I just picture it. It just seems like a scooter without the fucking safety. It's like
right, you're like, how do you stay on there?
exactly. My friend got me one when I was like 8 or 9 or something. As I never used it. I was like too afraid to hop
Oh
on it.
no.
Um,
See, I don't know. I'm not good at it by any means, but like for example, with the street deck, the street board, I only ever got to where I could do an ollie, and not even like a good ollie. I was just able to like maybe get onto the side of a sidewalk depending on how high it was.
damn.
But with a longboard, I have what's called like a cruiser, a land yacht's
Oh,
cruiser.
okay.
And it's like kind of a short board, but it's like wider and it's got bigger wheels, so you can kind of go over like different sidewalks, and you can go like if there's a branch, not like a whole tree branch, if there's a little stick in the road, you can just go right over it. On a normal skateboard, you try to do that, you will fly off the board instantly.
Damn.
So, around the area that I live, there's not a lot of like smooth places to skate. So, having a longboard is a lot better. You can kind of go over most places, most little divots in the road and stuff.
Yes, I
So
can
I
just
like to do
picture
that.
you.
I don't
I just picture you on your longboard with your beanie in hand, ready to go.
exactly like that's really how it is. I like to do that. I do love watching movies and TV shows and stuff. I don't really as much as I used to.
Mm.
Just because it does get really time consuming. But I
It
would
can, yeah.
say for the most part, when it comes to like things that I like to watch, it's kind of not horror in a way, but maybe psychological horror.
Like a
I don't
thriller.
know how you would explain it. Maybe, yeah. Like it's not like a spooky type of thing. Like murder mysteries and stuff like
Right,
that. Like
right.
I love to watch stuff like that. I don't know why. I guess it's just because it makes you constantly question everything and everyone that's in there, so you have to really think about it.
Do you mind gore like in movies and whatnot? Like,
Listen, fun little story.
okay.
Whenever I was younger, I don't remember what movie it was. For the life of me, I was like so young. My mom had a movie on, and I saw a scene where it was an army scene,
Okay.
and someone had gotten shot. And this dude literally just like falls over and dies, and I literally started like passing out, and I was like, oh god, I'm so sick. This is horrible. I can't do this. Have I gotten better with it over the years? Maybe. Maybe. But overall, not I'm not great with the gore.
Oh, okay. I was gonna make a suggestion, but perhaps not.
I mean, I'm down for the suggestion, but I'll just like it depends on my mood, I
okay.
guess. Like
Okay. Well,
sometimes I can handle it.
it can be quite gory, so I'll just put it out there. But you've probably heard me talk about it before, but the Hannibal TV series is very, very good.
Oh yeah, okay.
Um,
Haven't watched it, but I remember you bringing this up.
it's not that long either. Like, there's 3 seasons of it, but like, there's not that many episodes. Like, it's only a few. So,
Okay, I'm gonna
but
write
yeah,
it
no,
down.
it's quite good. It's funny. Like, do you know what Hannibal Lecter is? Like, you know, like Hannibal the Cannibal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I don't know him personally, but
yeah. He's a nice guy, but
oh god.
it's so like disturbingly funny to see him like go up to like his kitchen counter and like pick out like a recipe card, and then right next to it pick out like a contacts card for.
Oh no. Dang. Speaking of like murdery stuff, like I don't know how we're on this topic, but have you heard of the infographics show on YouTube?
Yes,
I love it.
you do.
It terrifies me, and then I can't sleep. But sometimes whenever I'm having, like lately, whenever I can't sleep, I will literally watch those videos that's like, the world's worst murderer. And I'm like, wow, this is horrible. And then I'm like, oh, I need to sleep. It's like 4 a.m.
Like all the like serial killer ones and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like one that I saw, I think last night, I put it on there. It was like a serial killer that no one talks about, the Candyman. And I was like, ew, this is horrible.
Yeah, I've quite.
I don't know.
Like,
Fun fact.
it sounds bad to say an interest, but I suppose, yeah, like being a horror writer, I guess my interests are pretty dark. But yeah, no, I really am interested in like the like serial killers, like their backgrounds and stuff like that. I have two books. There's one talking with serial killers, and one is talking with psychopaths. And they're both written by Christopher Berry D. He's a criminologist, and they're word for word
Nice.
interviews and like recollections from his interviews with actual
See,
serial killers.
this is the kind of stuff that I love, and it's like it makes me feel weird to like say that because it's like it seems demented, right?
Yeah,
But really,
exactly.
the reason why I'm so interested is because if I didn't do online stuff, I think that I'd end up in psychology.
I
Like, I think
100%
that that's the
agree.
route that I would take.
If I didn't want to become an author, I would want to become a psychologist. 100%.
Exactly. Like, there's something about like human behaviors, the human mind, like why we do what we do, why people, why things happen, what sets things into motion. Like, it just interests me so much.
Definitely.
Like, I
I
could sit
agree
there and think
100%.
all day about, like, I wonder, how did that person become the way that they became?
Hmm.
In good ways and bad ways.
Exactly. That's why I like doing those kind of, as I said, like with the psychological analysis of Aiden Pierce. I love that kind of stuff. Um, I have I have a book, The Psychology of Batman, and it's actually looking into like because Batman and Joker have quite a big influence on me. Like just like Joker from the side of like he's one of my favorite villains, and Batman from the side of like I really respect people with like very strong willpower, and to me Batman like
Yeah,
fictionally would be like the peak of willpower. It's like that kind of like the top that you
true.
can be. um and that's why Bruce Lee is like an actual idol for me. That's why I started martial arts.
That's awesome.
But with that I will forget where I was going. So yeah.
Oh, you were saying that Batman and Joker have like a very big influence on you?
Yeah, it was something else though.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Was
you're
it
fine.
psychology
Yeah, psychology. Yeah,
related?
sorry.
Okay,
Yeah,
you're good.
so yeah, with psychology and that it's quite an interesting topic, but to pursue it for a career would take such a long time to actually achieve, and like to want to be an author as well, like it just wouldn't be possible to have both on the side.
Exactly.
Um,
That's literally how I feel too.
yeah.
Like, I would have to take too much time away from my passion
Mm,
to do it, that it's like I wouldn't be happy.
yeah.
But if I didn't have this as a passion, it's like then I would love to do it.
It's like as well because I'm taking a gap year at the moment, and then the plan is to go to college next year, but I'm not even sure because I was told when I signed up for it, like by my guidance counselor at school, she was like, "Okay, so if you want to take a gap year, you can defer the course to next year, if you get your place, and you can defer the grant if you get it, and everything like that." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's perfect."
Wow.
So I got accepted for the grant. I got my place in college. I did all that, and I successfully deferred it to next year. So I'm in my gap year. But
Good.
when it came to the grant, though, and I don't know if you know this, but accommodation in Ireland, like getting like somewhere to stay, is
Right.
really really bad. There's like a big housing crisis in Ireland that's been going on for years, but it's like insane prices for like a fucking closet worth of space. It's ridiculous. But
See, I didn't know that at all.
yeah, it's
Which
like
I'm
really
very
bad.
ignorant to things that I should probably be aware of.
No, it's fine.
But
It's like there's issues in fucking Pakistan that I don't fucking know about. It's like you
right.
don't know everything about everywhere.
I wish that I was that person that like knew things like this instantly, but maybe I'll start doing research.
But basically, it's very very bad when it comes to accommodation, and most of the grant it would probably be like it would help you cover the course so that you can actually help you um, cover your own accommodation, if that makes sense. But
Right. So like a big chunk of that just has to go for you to literally live.
kind of yeah. Uh, but with that though, the grant when I actually got accepted for it, when I tried to defer it, because my guidance counselor was like really really bad. Like I had to
Oh.
like correct her on like half the information myself. But
Uh-oh.
um, when I went to defer the course, they sent me a cancellation link. I was like, no, I'd like to defer, please. and they sent me
Right. You're like, this is just on hold.
yeah, and they sent me the link again, and I was like, So I went to talk to the guidance counselor. I was like, yeah, no, they're just sending me a cancel link. They're not letting me defer. And she's like, oh, yeah, just click that. I was like, I'm sorry? You told me I could
It
defer
literally
it.
says cancel.
Yeah, I was like, you told me I could defer this. And she was like, no, if you cancel it and then you can reapply next year. I was like, that is not the same thing.
Right, like, that's a false impression,
Yeah.
if I've ever known one.
Yeah, exactly. And that was my whole basis for going to college. It's like, I'm not really, like, I don't want to go into massive debt just to go to college. Like, the whole idea was, like, the grant will cover it and then I don't mind going. But, like, if I'm going to have to pay for all
Right.
this up front, then, like, I just don't see it.
For something that you're not even sure you want to
Exactly.
go for.
That's my point. Yeah, because, like, the course I was going to go for was English and psychology. And
Right.
to go for that course, like, yeah, English would help, and like I'm interested in psychology, but number one, you don't need any kind of credentials whatsoever to become an author. Like that, a lot of that is just self-made.
Exactly. It's just it could, like, maybe aid you on your journey,
Yeah.
but so could experiences in life.
Exactly, yeah. And then the second part with psychology is like I feel like personally I'd be more interested in psychology if I was just learning it myself rather than being tested on it. Like then it just kind of makes it a chore.
True, yeah.
So
Like, when you put it that way, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. And you're probably more willing to, like, learn different types of things as opposed to one set curriculum.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do
because you can just go out and explore on your own.
If I get the grant, I might give it a chance, but if not, then I don't really see it. It's kind of a waste of time and money, and I'm making decent money where I'm working at the moment, so I feel like I'm probably better off just saving and then working on the stuff at the side.
Right. Just don't let, like, outside influences impact your decision to a point where you're like, dang, I did this because I felt like people would be disappointed or something like that, because
yeah,
at the end of the day, you are literally going to be the one stuck with your choice.
Yeah. And that's definitely a big factor that comes into play with thinking about it. But the cool thing about being an author, this was the whole thing that was leading my point, sorry. But
oh, you're good.
The cool thing about being an author, though, or like wanting to be an author, is that like I have so many different interests. I want to join the military, but that takes time. I want to be an author, but that takes time. Like I want to do like so many things. But to be an author, you can kind of live those lives vicariously through your characters, and you can learn the things that you want to learn each time you're writing a new character. You know, like you don't need to know everything at once, but if I'm writing something about someone who's a mechanic, then I get to learn stuff about cars and whatnot that I wouldn't have learned beforehand. Like I can take it one step at a time. So you get all this information, like living all these different lives through writing, which is an interesting way to look at it.
You know, that's something that I never ever considered about authors, but that's amazing. Like, that mentality of it gives me a whole new respect for people who write.
I know, right?
It's like, you really are, like, having to put the shoes of these characters on, and even if you create the character, most good authors, they create characters that are majorly contrasting to who they are. Mm-hmm. You know, the personality might be different. The way that they interact with the world may be vastly different.
Exactly.
And it's like you have to equip yourself with the knowledge to be able to create that and breathe life into the character accurately.
Yep, exactly.
So that is, like, huge credit for you to even, like, think of it in that mentality, because that's awesome. I'm sure that that's probably what is able to, like, one, make you passionate about doing it, but two, set you apart from other people that are writing. Is like you genuinely want to create these people in their universe, and like they are real in that universe. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's not like you're just writing this character in and, you know, you close the book, you don't think about it. It's like, nope, you've like fully fleshed out this character to the point where in their world they have hobbies, they have preferences, they have dislikes, and they, you know, they have these little characteristics that make them complete.
Exactly. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Of course.
And that section was very much oriented around what I was saying, so apologies about that.
No, you're good. That is the point of a podcast. Yeah, ramble on, talk about stuff that you want to talk about.
True.
I am a guest on your podcast, so let's just talk about everything. We've talked about me. Let's talk about you.
True. I like to give more time to the guests as well, though, just because like I'm here all the time. So, but
you're like, please help me. I'm stuck here.
How about Discord as well? Your Discord is like pretty successful. Not like, and you know, like I don't mean to like, you know, boast for you or anything, but like, you know, it's
No,
I would
you're
say it's
fine.
quite active. It's definitely one of the most active
I
or servers that I'm a part of.
Listen, I literally don't know how it happened. I don't know. I could not tell you. I did not know of Discord until I started, like, not majorly PC gaming. It's not like I'm like, alright, I'm in phase now. But, you know, when I started PC gaming, I was like, okay, how do I talk to people on here? Because, you know, on PlayStation and Xbox, you've, of course, got your parties with your headset while you play.
Right.
On PC, it's like, do I just call you over FaceTime or something? Like, Skype back in the day was, you know, goated.
Oh,
Loved
do
Skype.
do do
Wish that,
do do do.
yes, I wish that it was still a thing. I had so many different group Skype calls with friends, and we would just stay up all night.
You know,
But,
you're a 2000s kid or some shit like that when you start off your calls with, "Can you hear me? Hello? Is the mic working? Yes?
yeah,
Hello?"
yeah, can you guys say something? Hello? Hold on, my mom's calling me. Like, but, with Discord, I wanted to, again, create a space to just be like, hey, this is a place that the community can go to. I'm so thankful for Discord because it has allowed, like, almost a bridge between content and the community. Because
Right.
when I'm not live or I'm not, like, uploading videos and replying to comments, it's like, where's that space in between? You know, how do I stay connected to people when I'm not actively creating stuff? And
That is
Discord
true.
kind of just fills that in perfectly.
I feel like Discord is probably
So,
one of
I
the
don't know.
best services I've used, to be honest. It's just
It
really well
really
put
is.
together. Um,
I agree 100%. Like, without Discord, I don't know. I'd feel so much more disconnected because I'd be like, hello? Can you guys...
I don't even
What do
know,
you mean? I
like,
haven't talked to you guys.
I don't even know when Discord was made. Like, I don't know, like, what did they use before Discord? Was it just Skype calls? Like what? Like,
Right? I have no idea. For some reason, you are, like, cutting in and out a little bit. Your
I
audio is.
think I hit my mic. So,
Oh, no.
yeah,
Okay, that might have been it.
yeah. Sorry about
But,
that.
yeah, Discord, I don't know. I want to say it was, like, in the early 2010s area,
Really? Is that?
but I could be completely wrong.
Could be. Could be. I'll have
At
to check
least
it out
from what
after.
I've heard. Like, I think I've heard people talk about it before, and they've said, like, oh, back in 2012 or back in 2013.
Right. Right.
But I could be way wrong. I think it started out as something completely different, too.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Like, yeah, but again, I don't know much about it to speak on it. I just know that I've heard that it was, like, not supposed to be for gaming at all.
Fair enough.
So it's weird. It's weird what Discord is today.
Sorry about that, guys. We're back. Had to do
We
a
are
quick cut
back.
there. I'm probably a bit quieter, but that's okay. We'll just
Had
finish
to
up
go
here.
play Doki Doki again real quick,
Yeah,
but we're
yeah.
back.
We just need the refresher, so
Yeah.
we're all good. So I just said that we'll finish up with just asking what kind of hopes you have for the future. Like, I know your Twitch is going pretty well at the moment, and you're saying you're going to go back to YouTube, but any sneak peeks, any like video ideas, any plans like that?
I will give you. Okay, now Parker, of course, is barking randomly. That is just great. Everything is happening.
Everything is falling
Listen,
apart.
this is what you get when you get behind the scenes in a podcast. It's more intimate. You get everything.
Exactly.
Okay. Anyways, but I will give you a little bit of sneak peeks into some things. I know it's very generalized, in the sense of it's not exactly like I don't have any like video titles to give you or like set games and stuff that I'll be
That's fine.
doing, but I will say, as of this month, November 2021, I will be returning to YouTube with a completely new mindset. I don't know if you relate to this at all, and I feel like you might be the type to relate to this, but I am a perfectionist, but I'm a bad perfectionist. Like, I think that, like, if I can't make something as perfect as I can, I just end up not making anything at all.
Yeah, I
But
completely get
until
you.
I give myself the time to get experience by making stuff, I won't be perfect. You know what I mean? Like, and perfect doesn't exist anyway, so.
I get you.
I've learned finally to I want to pick up the camera. I want to, like, for example, a little sneak peek into the future. I want to start doing vlogs and stuff. It's something that I really enjoy watching vlogs. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
Like Casey Neistat,
We'll
Peter
let,
McKinnon, I could sit there all day,
we'll
just
let
watch
COVID
vlogs.
die down a bit, and then you can do some more.
Right. But it's like I've always been so insecure of like, oh well, what would I say? How would I do? And going out in public, how am I gonna hold a camera without people staring at me in this weird small town that I'm in?
Don't you live in
But,
America?
right, like, I'm just gonna go for it and, say screw it, and I'm also not going to restrict myself to a set upload schedule on YouTube. Like, with Twitch, I have a set, stream schedule, and for the most part, I adhere to that, like, every single week.
Right.
So with YouTube, I want it to be more so, like, I'm gonna upload when I'm proud of that video.
I
I don't want to
mean,
just upload something to upload.
I feel like YouTube could be not a hobby, but like it could be more of like a bonus side to it. Because like I'm sure, like I'm not going to ask you about numbers, but I'm sure that Twitch is better financially than YouTube would be with like the numbers or like with
Oh,
the
yeah.
subs or whatnot.
And I feel like a lot of, like, smaller creators probably relate to the fact of, like, on Twitch, it's, like, community supported.
Right.
So, like, if you have your community, you have people that care about you and what you're doing, they want to invest and help you out. With YouTube, it's a lot more just based on ad revenue and, like, based on, like, statistics.
Yeah, yeah.
So until you get, like, way, way on the YouTube grind, it's, like, much smaller income compared to, Twitch.
Yeah, I guess.
Which, not saying that I'm like, wow, I'm really racking in the money, but living in somewhere that is not expensive to live, thankfully, I am fortunate enough to be able to do it full time, plus having a roommate. So,
Well, that's awesome. I definitely would like to stream. It's just my internet's still like it is definitely better now with the new internet, but it's still not really. I'm not really confident enough to live stream with it yet. I don't think it'd be that solid of a connection. But
right, you risk going live and then suddenly it just cuts off.
yeah, exactly. So it'd probably be a little longer. I'd probably start it if I got like a PC and some better internet because I don't really think the setup I have now with the Xbox or the PlayStation will really do for streaming. If you saw my setup, it's not really like it's not that great for having like a mic set like for a stand or anything like that. There's no real like kind of desk for it. Like I have a desk that I'm on at the moment, but my TV and all that kind of stuff that's like on a wardrobe or like a dresser. It's sitting on
Right,
one of
I
those.
gotcha.
So, yeah. So
This might sound weird, but is it kind of like one of those, it's like a pack up and go kind of setup? Because I ran on something like that for a long time where it was just like my laptop, I had a Blue Snowball microphone, and I had my headphones, I had my Xbox. Like, I would connect it to my Xbox, to my computer, to my TV, and then if I was just gonna do like a voiceover or something, I'd unplug it all, and I would take my laptop and my little Blue Snowball mic, and I would go sit in my mom's car and record a voiceover, because I was like, I don't really have anywhere good to go to record, so like,
honestly, it's not really that portable to be honest. It's more just it's just awkward. I don't know. I'll send you a picture of it after. But
okay.
But yeah, no.
I think I know what you're saying. Like, it's just not the typical
Yeah,
setup.
not perfect, but does for now. So anyway, thank you
Yeah,
very
work.
much for joining me. I had a lovely chat. Had a lovely time. Hope you did too.
I loved it. Other than the fact that, my dogs kept interrupting. I'm so sorry again. But
Again,
I
I told
absolutely
you, whoever complains about the
and,
dogs can, go fuck themselves, alright? It's
oh
fucking
no.
Alright?
Listen, if you're upset about the dogs, I see you. You're valid. It's okay. I understand.
Okay, well, Kate accepts you, I don't.
Oh no. There's a whole war that starts.
Hell yeah.
Pixel versus Shane.
Do.
Do-do-do-do.
Just the Doom music starts playing, like.
Oh no.
Alright.
I feel like I've said oh no so many times. Just there's so many things said that I'm just like, what?
I would put a counter up of how many times, but I don't want to.
That would be a lot. That would be a lot of work. We'll just say it was a solid 5 to 10. We'll call it that.
We'll
Call it
leave
even.
it there. Yeah. We'll agree to
But
disagree.
no, thank you so much for having me on.
No
I had an
problem.
absolute blast.
Awesome.
Like I said, you can probably see even more of how I always say that I'm rambly. Now that we've done this, you're probably like, yeah, I could say that.
No, I love having these kind of conversations. Honestly, like at work and stuff. Like, no offense if anybody from work is listening to this, but
Oh no.
it's just
Again, oh no.
it's very small talk, and I hate that. I love having more in-depth
Yeah.
conversations and just like
Get to the nitty-gritty.
yeah, exactly. It's like conversations like, oh, Weather's great.
I'm the
You
same
know,
way.
it's like that pisses me off so much. It's like, yeah,
Right, like, I'm like, "Yeah, the weather's great. We're both experiencing it right now. We don't need to discuss this."
yeah,
So what do you think about who you are as a person?
exactly.
No, but I always say, I've even said on stream, like, I crave, like, emotional, intellectual conversation. I don't know. It's not that I'm even smart, like, I'm kinda dumb, but, like, I could just have these conversations all day long.
Yeah, that's what I hate
And
as well.
you're a very great conversationalist.
Why, thank
I
you.
knew that before, but now it's like, I realized during this time that we have a lot of things in common. Like, we have a lot of common interests and things.
We do seem to, yeah.
So, pretty neat, pretty
Definitely
neat. It
makes
made for a
conversation a
really
lot
good
easier.
chat.
Yeah, it did. It did,
Yeah,
actually.
definitely.
I think
Like,
it flowed
imagine
quite
every
well.
time that you brought something up, I was like, no, I hate that. No.
It's the podcast is like 10 minutes long of just rejection.
Yes, the rejection podcast.
It's like, yeah, I need to get through this quick change, so let's fly through these topics real quick. Yeah.
Right, like, imagine, I'm like, I have a business meeting.
I
You're
have,
like, with who? I'm like, Parker. He's my assistant.
I have, I have like a door to clean, more
Oh my
pressing
God.
matters, so you could just wrap this
Right. I was actually gonna go water my grass, so.
up. Yeah.
I
I
thought
feel
you
like the
said you were
rain needs
going
some
to
help.
mow. Well,
I'm just gonna go water my grass, but it's raining outside. Yeah, but it needs some assistance, okay? Like,
right.
come on.
Yeah, but that's not fresh water, so.
All right.
Yeah, that would have been an awkward time. But thankfully it wasn't.
So, I'll catch you guys later. See you in the next episode, and peace. What now? Shintor. See ya.
Bye. Nice.